gonna bring us in.
Okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the. God, I've lost my train of thought. I started the thing, and then
Great
I
show,
looked
guys.
at the screen
stuff,
and
guys.
saw Starfield, and I'm just like, fuck. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Game Drain.
Tragic.
With me, Matt Likes Games, Ham Solo,
The
shut
ADHD
up,
podcast.
and Hard Days Mike and Twan. Twan, we're starting with you first this time, just like last week.
All right.
What have you been up to? I mean, what have you been playing? How have you been?
Yeah. All right, I've been pretty good. I've been playing a lot of Armored Core 6, but then the moment Starfield came out, pretty much dropped everything. Just been doing nothing but Starfield, honestly. Fucking fantastic. Loving the game so far. Like I think I got like 10 hours in it now. Like my sleeping schedule is like I'm like up at 12 in the morning on a night I'm supposed to wake up at 6. So yeah, it's doing things to me, that's for sure, but yeah, man, absolutely fantastic game. We're definitely going to be talking more about it later in the show, so I want to hold some of my thoughts about it. But other than that, that's about it. I've been busy with other life stuff, so I haven't put as much time in the game as I wanted to, especially today. We've been playing all day, but I was with my friend. But yeah, that's about it really for me. So I guess I'll just bring it on to Mike.
Mike,
Hey, all right. So outside of Starfield, we will not talk about that.
well,
first.
you can
I'll
say
be
you've been
quiet.
playing Starfield.
Okay.
I just want to
Yeah.
save impressions and the whole topic around Starfield for later. But you can say you've
Okay,
been
so
playing
yeah.
Starfield.
I've been playing Starfield, but on an awesome note. This is huge for me,
Whoa.
and this I know Matt. You already know what it is because I
Whoa.
freaked out in a voice call when I saw it.
I don't know what it
My
is.
favorite Doom Eternal mod got an update
Yeah,
that added
I saw that, yeah.
a ton more content, a ton of balancing fixes, and just a bunch of general quality of life changes that I have been playing like my life depends on it. And I'm very happy because he has said he's going to continue to get more content to it. And I'm very excited. You know, as always, I'm always playing Doom, but really, and we're going to get into it later, the game of the day, the game of the week, the game of the year is Starfield. And we
Yeah.
will obviously be getting into that soon enough.
We
Oh man, so
absolutely
much
will.
to talk about in that game. Oh my god.
There's a fucking good amount to talk about. Ham, what have you been
We
playing?
could talk
bud?
to 2 hours.
What am I playing?
Yeah, what are you
I think
what are
we
you
can figure that out.
Ham, help us solve the mystery of what you're playing.
Our resident pony, he's probably playing Horizon.
I'm playing
he's redoing a
something I've
replay.
spent near $350 on it. That's what I'm
Horizon
Zero
Forbidden
Dawn
West?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Man, he really that was the expensive collector's edition from what I heard.
Yeah, it was.
The one with like that big man with the statue, I think.
So you're playing Starfield. So you're playing Starfield. We'll keep going. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying you're making me sick. That's all I gotta say.
No. Oh, we're gonna dive deep into it, buddy. We're gonna figure all this out. We're gonna get to the bottom of this mystery. What Ham's playing. I feel like we're gonna do that later in the show, though. But first, we've got actual topics to get to that are like, you know, not Starfield, and we're gonna spend a lot.
But we'll save that for
time.
last. We'll save that.
Yes,
Starfield for
we're
last.
gonna spend a lot of time on Starfield, and there are some things to talk about outside of that this week. But first up on that list, I mean, Embracer.
But Matt, what have you been playing? We haven't
Yeah,
talked
what an
about
What
it.
have I been playing?
Yeah,
I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you've asked. I've been playing The Last Hope on Nintendo. No, I'm kidding.
That's a banger.
It is.
That is a real, genuine banger.
It was so good to the point where they had to get removed off the eShop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my
Because
god.
they
Did it really?
Resistance.
Yeah.
They removed it.
Sony sent out a cease and
Tragic.
desist.
Yeah.
Did they really do that?
Yeah, they did.
Sony did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. That's fantastic. That makes my day, kind of.
You know what? I'm proud of Sony for doing that because,
Right?
God damn, that was disrespectful.
Yeah, dude, that was-
God,
That was
damn.
just absolutely shameless. Like it was just completely.
They ripped the
shameless.
whole cover. Just some knockoff Ellie in the game who stinks. Just some main characters stinks, and just a game that stinks.
Like
Matt
no
knows a
redeeming
lot about
qualities.
stinking, though. I'll give him
I
that
sure
much.
do, and that game fucking stunk, Mike. Almost as bad as you.
Leave me
No.
alone.
Okay.
All right, yeah, that game stunk. I remember remember in that Digital Foundry video, there's like you can fire like what is it? There's like 50 bullets in the entire game or something like that. Some
Yep.
crazy. That's just fucking off.
It's
I don't
kind of
know.
silly going into a game knowing exactly how much ammo you have for the entire game,
It's fucking crazy.
especially when it's 50 bullets. But yeah, that's Last Hope, and nobody's playing that. But to answer your question, I have been playing Starfield, and
What you have?
Hey Tom.
I definitely have impressions on that, and we're going to be getting into all of our impressions at the end of the show. But first topic on the list, I feel like this will be the first and quickest topic, is Embracer shutting down Volition.
Yeah, that
Does
was
any?
unfortunate.
I agree. I definitely agree. Do you guys
Yeah.
have any strong feelings about Volition as a studio or Embracer as a publisher?
So
Because this seems to be something that's going to be happening a lot going forward with Embracer.
So like I have a lot of like all over the place feelings where like I see a lot of people being like, well, Volition doesn't have any vision with these studios. They don't believe in them. They don't this. They don't that. They don't this or whatever. And it's like I do see what people mean, but I feel like at least with Volition, like I don't know what was like the last really well received game they made.
I mean, that's a tough one. Volition, I'll tell you, the last game I enjoyed, I haven't beaten it yet, I still need to, but the last game I enjoyed from Volition was Red Faction Remastered, which, from what I understand, that wasn't the most well received game. I mean, I was enjoying
That came
it.
out in 60 era too.
Yeah.
That was a 360 era game. Like
But
they've been
true.
having a ton of kind of commercially and like a reception wise duds. And I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised that like Embracer did like help them with the DLCs to get. I mean, help. I'm saying in quotes help here because like let's be real.
No.
We
Yeah.
don't know, but they allowed them, even though that game sold like shit. They were like, "Yep, make your DLCs, get them out the door, try to get customers." They did. I just kind of think, and don't get me wrong, I think Embracer can definitely trip and stumble. I think they're probably going to with a lot of these studios, or at least a good chunk of them. But I don't know with Volition, like I feel like they're going to be on their way out one way or another. I think Starfield, yeah, I think Saints Row bombed so hard. In a way that
Oh yeah.
not even like it did
100%.
something where like, oh, this, I mean, there are good qualities of it. I played it. There's some things that are okay about it that I think are enjoyable, but in a sense, it bombed so hard, not even as the people that enjoy wacky Saints Row didn't enjoy. The people that want a gangster almost said Sub-Zero. What the fuck is wrong with me? Gangster like Saints Row didn't like it. Like even
Yeah.
like more hipstery people didn't like it. It like failed on like every single front imaginable. Like it's
You don't know who it was for. Like we had no idea
like
who that game
that's
was
the
for.
thing, and I feel
It's
like, and I don't want them to get closed because that sucks. But like I feel like Embracer has been apparently kind of financially like kind of not been like in a decline, but like kind of unstable for a little bit now. And when it seems like one of the studios you bought, this is like their fifth like dud in a row, commercially, reception wise, whatever, but I don't know. It sucks to see them go. And like in my general feelings about it, it sucks to see them go. I've been playing their games since I was a kid, and it sucks. It sucks to see them go.
I agree with that. Tuan, what
Yeah.
about you, bud? Or anybody, just anybody want to
personally,
join in.
Yeah, like for me, it's like personally, every time when a studio closes, it's always sad. People lose their jobs. It's always just a sad thing to happen in general. And I have played their games in the past. Like I have fond memories of like Saints Row 3, right? Everyone, that game was a classic. Saints Row 3. It's just yeah, but I mean, even just recently, yeah, they have been releasing some funky stuff. Like I haven't really been playing most of their recent games, but so I'm not really like emotionally attached to that studio at all, personally. But
I couldn't even tell you what a recent game from them, besides Saints Row 2022. I couldn't
the
tell
bad
you
one. Yeah,
what a recent
yeah,
game from Volition is.
Yeah, me neither.
yeah. So
It's unfortunate,
that could be
man.
another thing. Yeah, so maybe that's another thing. They're just not really making much, or I guess what they did make just didn't even do that well because they spent so much time making that one thing. So I
No,
don't
that's
know. I don't know
exactly
what.
right. It's
Yeah,
just it's like they probably expected that game. What they wanted from them was that to be their
yeah,
big open world banger, and
yeah. It just wasn't that.
not
Yeah.
only did it miss the mark, it pissed off like everyone in the Saints Row fandom in the meantime. Like
Hmm.
and it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate because to me, Saints Row is a very my personal favorites, and this is actually a hot take. I actually really didn't care for Saints Row 3 personally. My
Saints Row
Really?
favorite
2
is
was the best.
Saints Row 2 is the best, and everyone like thinks I'm crazy with this. Like I actually enjoyed 4 more than 3 just because it just like embraced how fucking stupid everything was. 3 was weird to
Hmm.
me because like it was kind of like, oh, we're like a corporate like I don't know, it's like everything was super corporate. Like in the third one, it's just fucking stupid. I have superpowers, I'm flying around. It's like it's just fully embraced. So for some reason
Yeah.
my brain kind of just tolerated and preferred that. But to me, Saints Row is just we need a Saints Row 2 remaster by was it Night Dive Studio. Like get that shit going. Cause that game fucking slaps.
I'd be down for that. I would play
Uh,
that.
dude, in the
That game's
co-op in that
backwards
game,
compatible, right? Right.
it is
It
actually. You're
is.
right, it is. I want the
I own
co-
I
the
own
servers.
I own all of those games, by the way. I need to play them again on my new and huge quotes new because I played them in like 2007 when I had my old account, but
Oh, okay,
I don't
okay.
have the achievements on the account that I have now.
You know what? We should see if those servers are still up. I'll literally just buy like if Saints Row 2 servers are still up, Matt. We should play that campaign co-op. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I'll be down.
Well, speaking of servers, I heard EA's actually shutting down all servers for their older games recently. I think like Bad Company 2 is supposed to
Oh,
be
Rip,
shutting
probably on the
down soon, which is
chopping
kind of bad.
block.
Yeah,
rip.
That's
yeah.
unfortunate.
So
So Ham, what are
That's
yeah,
your
that
what's
was
your
actually
opinion
like
on all of this?
well,
Because I haven't heard you, so I'm just what's your opinion on like Volition being shut down and the state of
Embracer.
all that?
Yeah. So like, yeah, Embracer, they look like the bad guys in this, which kind of stinks.
Sure.
I mean, it's not a good look, right? When you got to shut down a studio from
Yeah.
anybody,
Yeah.
whether
No.
you're a third party publisher or a platform publisher. But in my opinion, I was thinking, man, Embracer fucked up was what I was thinking at
mhm,
first, and then I looked at the games that they make, and I was like, man, they make some pretty good games, but they don't really make anything that they created exactly.
Like, how do you mean?
Like,
Sorry, I'm just dumb and not following. Do you
what I
mean like?
mean is their games are kind of knockoffs of other
Oh,
games.
I got you.
Oh, Saints Row to
mhm.
GTA, and yeah,
Yeah.
I get that.
And yeah, and also what was
Punisher
the
to
other
Max
one?
Payne.
Punisher to Max Payne. Red Faction is like pretty much like an Unreal kind of game with a campaign, I guess. It
Yeah,
is kind of the feel I got from the game, especially when I played it on like the original Xbox, the earlier versions.
sure. Yeah.
Um, it just kind of gave me like Quaker Turok vibes, I guess.
Mm.
So
That's fair. Yeah.
I just felt like anytime the Volition, like they came out with games that were interesting, but like none of them were like, wow, you're creating something I couldn't get somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, although it's sad that they go away, especially for
Hmm.
having had some success with some of their bigger name titles,
Hmm.
they just didn't adapt properly, in my opinion. And like especially with something like Saints Row, like this was your chance to kind of re-grab people again. Like you renamed it Saints Row like it was the original, right?
Mhm.
Fresh reboot, like a real
Like-
good retake on. Oh, I'm sorry. Continue. Sorry.
No, you're right. It's an absolutely fresh like reboot, but like
Mhm.
the ideas in that game are some of them are kind of just over the top,
Mm.
and other of in other features of the game seem a little, like I say, kind of taken from other games. So it's just like
Mhm.
not too original to jump out the paper, and then at the same time they don't really seem to have anything else in the idea bank. Because if you look, though, the game before that they made was Agents of Mayhem.
Oh my god.
I
Man.
don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Dude, that
That's
game-
sounds familiar.
That
I don't
game
know what that
flops
is.
hard. It's so
Yeah, same.
Ham, do you mind
I
if
don't
I
know what
say real
that is.
quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Think of it almost like a spiritual successor to Saints Row, kind of in the Saints Row universe. Oddly enough, and this is where at least I'll give it credit, quote unquote, is that it actually has a lot in common with like kind of like the gameplay loop of like, let's say, Diablo with tiers for difficulty. There are interesting things happening in that game, but once again, that came out when people wanted a new Saints Row, and it literally just played like Saints Row, but somewhat different, but not really. It
Mhm.
was like mainly like a character skin change, and that's it. Um,
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the trailer. It's Saints Row.
it's literally
Huh.
Saints Row, and that's I think
When
there
did that
comes
come
a
out?
that came out
2017.
in what 20? Yep.
2017.
All right.
And
So
it's like
6 years ago.
it's just I don't know, man.
It
There's
kind of
some
goes right into the point of what I just got done saying. I
It
mean,
does.
they're so creatively like they seemingly were so creatively stagnant to the point that they used their own formula to remake another game super duper similar, like to the point where it feels like you're kind of doing the same thing
Yeah, this looks like this.
in the same world.
You could just
it
call
actually
this
is
Saints
in the
Row, and I
same
wouldn't
universe.
know.
It's actually like kind of connected. I can't remember how, but it is kind of connected.
The
It's
multiverse.
it is like a multiverse. I don't know what the fuck happened with that game, man. Like, if you ever find it for $5, you're like, hey, I'll try it. Why not? It's not.
Yeah.
It's actually like it actually isn't
Decent.
that. But once again, it's like, why are you giving me this, but not like a new Saints Row? Like,
Yeah.
why are you? And you know what I mean? And when they do, it's I don't know, dude. I'm with Ham on this one personally. As much as I love the Volition for like the nostalgia reasons.
Yeah, they've had good games definitely in the past,
Yeah.
but you know,
Yeah, sure, they're good,
Yeah.
but they're just not like transformative for
Yeah, not
a
really.
company that's trying to kind of stand out. Like
Yeah.
you did it
Exactly.
with you got to pass with Saints Row in the 360 era. You got a complete pass with that. It was good. You kind of played a little too much with that IP as for like what it should be, to the point that it was confusing
Mhm.
for people, and you never really did anything outside of that. So you just confused people and never gave the people that were confused an out,
Mhm.
a direction to kind of go and be like, oh, well, they fucked up that for me, but this is a good replacement. Like they didn't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
No.
I think something interesting that you talking about them kind of copying, or not copying, let's say taking a lot of inspiration from their game and adding their own twist to it. And like Saints Row to GTA is the big one. I think something that, I mean, I honestly only just remembered about, and I had to double check myself to see if I was right in that memory, is nobody talks about the fact that Saints Row 1, and I think this is why it was such a big deal, was an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
That came
360
out
exclusive.
only.
Oh, yeah.
That only came
Yeah.
out on
Yeah, it was-
I think
360.
it still
Yeah.
is. Still is a 360.
Yeah, it is. It's
exclusive.
never
Still
been
is.
released on. It was never released on
Yeah, never been
PS3.
ported.
Wasn't even on PC. Saints Row 2 is on PC. Saints Row
Yeah.
1 is
Well,
not
Saints
on
Row 2
PC.
was like on every Saints Row
Yeah.
2 was on PS3 at 360 and like
And I think at that time, to their credit, I guess they kind of played off of like,
Great
GTA.
point.
GTA was still in the process of like, okay, we're making the move to Xbox. Granted, Vice City came over, San Andreas, GTA 3, all that stuff came over on the original Xbox late. But
Yeah,
we
it was
were
really looked at as a knockoff. You're right. It was
exactly.
kind of looked at as a knockoff, but it scored off of that. It did really
Yes.
well off of that.
Exactly.
Which is insane.
And I think like that's one of the things that helped them get their foot in the door was as much love, because I remember when that came out, dude. Me and my friend played that like every day after school. Every day we go over to his house and we play Saints Row, and they got like a lot of love from Xbox fans who were just excited to have a new thing that could quote unquote rival the thing that the other people have always had.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
like it was. I think they played into that very well. Saints Row 2, they followed it up. It was an even better game in my opinion. Saints Row 3 was a
Yeah.
fun time. It was just kind of
Yeah.
silly,
It was a
wacky.
sillier game.
I didn't know what they were trying to do. I didn't even play
Yeah.
Saints Row 4. I can't even lie to you guys. And then this
It's
last
Neither
literally
did I.
just silly bullshit again. Even if I thought there was things I like, it's don't go on. Sorry.
yeah, and then like this last one with Saints Row the reboot, it's like whenever they first showed it, I was like, this could be interesting. And the more you heard about it, the more once we figured out the plot of the game, like what's going on, like they're college students and they're trying to get out of. I'm just like, this game is
And the way
gonna
it's handled
stink.
too is so
Yeah.
bad. It's not
Yeah.
even like, they don't even make it look like, this was like a last resort. It's like, oh, I was working my job at a coffee shop and now I gotta go rob people. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's like
Yeah,
it's I don't know.
it was weird to see. Like, it sucks to see them close down, but it's also like, I don't know what you expected when you stuck to your guns of like, no, this is what we know. This isn't what the fans want, but fuck them. This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
This is what we're gonna do.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
and I think it was either Twan or Mike who made like, it doesn't please either segment of your fan base, because you got the fan base that wants the original Saints Row, like the seriousness. Granted, it was still goofy, but the seriousness, the serious tone of the original Saints Row. And then there's also the ones who like Saints Row 3 and 4 and everything, who want that, and instead you gave them none of that. You didn't even give them a combination of it. You gave them something entirely different.
Yeah.
And then it sucks, but you get closed down after that, and it's like that. It's one of the things, like, it helps to listen to fans, especially like a fan base like that, where it's like, that's the game that you make that everybody loves. That's the game that you make. And it's like, yeah, you want to add new stuff to it. You want to do different things, obviously, but you can't just do that and say, fuck the entire fan base.
Yeah, it's
No.
I don't, and the thing is, I don't even know if they were purposely trying to do that, but that's how it felt. And
Well, that's definitely how it felt.
and do I feel bad? Yeah, but like at the same time, it's like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. And I'm not here to gloat in the fact that a studio I have been playing games for God knows how long are now closed. That is not what I want to do or even consider doing.
Definitely. And I don't know, man. I just think it sucks. It sucks to see them go. There's a good amount of history there. They've been around for what, 30 years? I think I
They've
saw
been
them
around for
post.
a long time.
Yeah, so it really stinks to see that happen, but at the same time, hopefully everybody who's there finds jobs within the industry and gets on the feet
That's
very
what sucks, because I'm
Yeah.
like, well, it makes sense,
Yeah,
but then
just
I'm
the
like,
people losing jobs, right?
yeah, that's the thing, because I'm always like, well, it makes fucking sense when you think about it, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
was someone's fucking job, and it sucks. It all
Yeah.
sucks. Hopefully, everyone
Yeah, it's a
finds a
shame.
better place to work. Hopefully, they can fully realize their dreams and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, love.
No.
Give them creative freedom.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Yep, 100%. Hoping for the best for everybody involved in that, but it does suck to see him go. And I promise one day I'll finish Red Faction Remastered. Also, there's 2 of them, aren't there? There's Armageddon and Remastered. I need to play both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta do that. But
Gorilla, whatever, the remastered one is considered the best one.
yeah, that's why I went to that one first. But yeah, that was that first topic. I felt like that would be the shortest one, but we did kind of stay on that for a minute, which I'm not mad at.
Both, yeah.
I'm not
That's
too
good.
mad at that. But
Good
the
much to talk
second
about.
That's
topic,
enraged.
I know that Ham's gonna enjoy this one, is the Lenovo Handheld.
Ooh.
You guys, I'm sure, have seen this by now. Lenovo
We have
announced
seen it.
the Legion Go. It's only $699. Which
Oh,
is
is it actually?
Yes, it's only $699, which is pretty nuts.
That's
I
actually
was expecting it to be more expensive than that. But what this does that's different than, say, the Asus ROG Ally or the Steam Deck,
Joy-Con boys.
Joy-Cons. Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
It's basically a Switch that's way better than a Switch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is
It can play
which
Halo,
is just
so it makes it
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can play old games that Nintendo doesn't care about.
Yeah, true. Better frame rates.
It can
Exactly.
play more Nintendo games than a Nintendo console.
Yep. Play more
That's
Nintendo
fucking
games than that
funny.
Nintendo Switch 2 people are so
Yeah.
hyped for. But yeah, that thing looks awesome. I want to go to Ham first because I know he's very excited about this. What are your thoughts on the Lenovo Legion Go?
I'm still kind of salty that, man, I really pulled the trigger on getting a Steam Deck at the wrong
Let's
damn
go.
time.
What about that
Yeah,
thing
I
with
really
your
did.
wife? Like with the, do you want to talk about the discount thing or like?
Oh, I mean, yeah. My wife gets a discount through Lenovo from her work. Oh, I gotta pause this game. I can't talk and do this at the same time.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That game's
Oh
a
my God.
fucking demon.
It is,
It
and I'm bored as shit, and I was just like, I
succubus.
can't do this, two things at the same time.
Yeah.
This is too deep because there's an alarm going off and everything.
Yeah,
It's insane. But yeah, what were we talking about?
The
about
Lenovo.
the discount.
Oh, yeah.
The Lenovo time.
God, this is tragic. Oh yeah, so all right. So now I got full attention. I am pretty dang stoked for that. Like I said, the wife gets a discount through her job with Lenovo, so I'm gonna be looking at that and seeing if that is gonna be like applicable or applicable or whatever for
Yeah.
that. And then I'll definitely do it. But the cool things, like there's several really cool things about that handheld, and it's supposed to be coming out in October. So just in case you're wondering how far down the line this is, it's really not that long. It's just a little over a month, I'd assume. But
Yep.
the things that it has that's pretty cool to me is it has that back stand, which I like. It has the Joy-Con type things that come off and you can use them how you want. One of the Joy-Cons you can turn into kind of a mouse or kind of a joystick of such and
Yeah.
kind of use it in FPS games if you'd like. I think it would work fairly well with several different games. To be honest, I don't know how much I'd use it, but I definitely wouldn't mind checking it out. Options are dope, and I'm not against that. Speaking of options, they do have like some sort of like AR, VR kind of thing that they got where it comes in a pair of sunglasses pretty much. And it shows you kind of playing your game big screen just from your head, which is
Yeah.
a pretty cool addition to have on it as well. It has 2 charging ports, one on the bottom, one on the top, USB Type C. It just looks phenomenal, and the way that I've been kind of seeing it get advertised is very much with like Game Pass and Xbox, and very much like the
It almost looks like
ROG
an Xbox
Ally.
handheld almost. You know.
Yep.
To me, it's like all of these different handhelds like kind of put together, because it has the mouse pad like the Steam Deck. It has the power of an ROG Ally. It has the flexibility of like a Switch with the Joy-Cons and like the little stand on the back. And it has a little bit of like VR type thing with it. It's just like pretty interesting, and it kind of makes me a little skeptical, but at the same time, because it's just like, man, this almost seems a little too good to be true.
Yeah,
you know?
honestly,
Yeah.
So
especially at that price point too. Like that was actually, I'm actually surprised.
That's an
it
impressive
cost
price.
that much.
That's a very
It
it
They're
is.
like I can't. I'm almost. It's almost like hard to believe that they're actually making a profit. They're got to be making a loss.
they
on that
might
almost,
they
like.
might not they might be swallowing a profit. Like they might just be swallowing it on the front end to do something on the back. Like who the fuck knows? But like,
But it's not like they have a shop or anything like Steam does.
no, they don't.
You know? So,
They don't.
So I don't know how they'd take a loss on it. You know. So I don't know.
I don't really know. I just think, well, the thing is it's not like it's their first gaming hardware, because they have gaming hardware. The Legion series has been around for a little bit. They just haven't had a handheld
Yeah.
That's true.
one. So, I mean, you could say that about that device, but you could also say the same about their PCs. Like, how are you guys making a profit for some of these prices for some of this stuff? You know, but
That's true.
they managed to do it. ROG managed to do it. What's that one, like GPD for the win, or what
Oh
is
yeah,
that?
those guys. I haven't thought of them. I don't.
They don't
Yeah.
have. They've been around for years now, and they don't have a storefront.
Mm-hmm.
True.
That's true.
So yeah, I
It
mean
really
that's
makes me wonder
that's pretty
how
much
they
the gist
make
on that.
money. Yeah.
I'm really
They must
excited
get the
for it. I
parts
want
really
to see
cheap or
more though.
something.
I really want to see more. I want to see somebody just like showing me what it's like docked. Also, if it can take an external GPU. I just want to see somebody just kind of play with it for like
Yeah, just see it
20
in
minutes.
action. Yeah.
Yeah, just 20 minutes of just what.
Like, does it also have a dock like
It
the
does.
Switch? We could just dock it and then play on the TV. Does it have anything like that?
Pretty sure it does, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
I'll
It might
look
be
that-
sold
I'll look that
separately
up.
like the Steam Deck. It's probably like
Look
a
that
Steam
up.
Deck thing where it's sold separately.
Well, it's one of those things like you could, even if it doesn't come with one, just like the Steam Deck, you
Do it
could buy one.
manually.
You could
Yeah.
buy one separately. Like I bought one second, like not like a third party one for my Steam Deck for like $40, and it works fine.
Yeah.
You just plug it into the USB. There's HDMI
I still need to
ports in
get
the
it.
back.
I still need to get a dock for my Steam Deck. Still need to do that.
It's one of those things. It's nice to have if you're playing like on a small monitor, but if you're hooking that up to like a big TV, you just fucking don't. Just don't. Unless you're playing like a really light game.
Yeah, because I was thinking I want to do like Pizza Tower, you know, like it's like a 2D
Yeah,
game,
that's
you know what I'm
fine.
saying?
But if you're trying to
Yeah.
plug it into your dock and play Cyberpunk, you're gonna be very disappointed.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a fun time. But yeah, I highly recommend grabbing a dock for that, and I'm sure you can get one for the.
But it'd be like
dock.
720p only though, right? On TV? Is that true?
No, you
Or-
can change it, because like on my Steam Deck, I had it running at 1080p on my computer screen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can change it. It's just
Okay, so yeah, it should be fine.
That's
then.
via Windows, right?
Yeah, you have to probably do it through the OS.
Oh yeah.
Because, like,
I'm still
because the
still
Steam
Yeah,
OS
just a second, guys. Still
Yeah.
here, but I just gotta mute myself.
All right, yeah. The Steam OS will like limit you to, or at least like on my 1080p monitor, if I'm playing through Steam OS, it'll limit me to 720p.
even on the
Wow.
monitor.
Yes,
I didn't know that.
but if
I
you
thought
were to,
it was like movable on anything. I didn't know it was
No.
only since
Yeah.
I have Windows.
Yeah,
hooked up
because
on
that's
it.
what I
crazy.
heard.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Because it's not like the Switch, where the Switch, it overclocks itself when it's docked.
You know, I
and
was
then it goes
wondering
to
why
1080p.
people were saying that, but I didn't want to call them liars because I was able to do it with 1080p on
Yeah.
my computer monitor. But I guess it's just because, like you said, it's because I have
Yeah.
Windows.
Yeah, through
Yeah.
Windows
And
you
I
can
was-
do
I-
it because you plug it
I
into
was
anything.
playing Gotham Knights, or not Gotham Knights. I was playing Exo Primal 1080p on my computer monitor while I was out of town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like if you're in Windows on that thing, yeah, you can set that up 1080p, no problem. You might even be able to go higher than that as long as you're plugged into a monitor that's like supports the resolution. Like you probably go up to 4K if you want.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
the only for me, the only reason why I get the dock is just so I could play like some, Steam indie games that aren't on console on my TV. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
have a dock, get some indies that aren't on any console, and then that's it. Just play on my TV, dock, and done. It's very straightforward. I think that'd be nice.
definitely. Looking forward to seeing more on this thing. Again, it's one of those things I'm not in a rush to buy another handheld. In fact, I kind of want to wait. I think it'll be a while before you see something from Valve, but I kind of want to wait for that, and see what they do, and then probably.
You think they're gonna make us? You think they're gonna make another generation like Steam Deck or something?
I would expect.
Yeah.
I would expect that, and I also think they'll make this one better because AMD announced all that technology that they'll be bringing to their GPUs and CPUs this past month. I think they announced that stuff back in August. So it's like with the frame generation that they're going to be getting with AMD, that's going to go into the Steam Deck that you already have. Granted, it's not going to make your game suddenly run like fucking 120 FPS.
Because the thing is too is like for them, frame generation is recommended for it to be a good experience is for you to have like a baseline of 60.
Yes.
And like, but the thing is though, I mean, we'll have to see what it's like in practice, but yeah, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens, but regardless, I'm hyped. I'm hyped for the Lenovo Legion Go, and I'm hoping it's received very well. And because like the ROG Ally seemed cool, but the problem that it seems to have is the storage just melting, basically.
Yeah.
Which is not cool to hear whenever you hear about that stuff. Hopefully the Legion Go doesn't have any issues.
Literally
because
not
cool. it looks like an awesome device. Like I would.
Yeah, the thing I really noticed about the Legion, whatever the fuck it's called, that
Legion Go.
Legion Go, yeah, whatever, yeah. So the thing I really noticed about that, especially looking at the trailer, is like, man, there's a big focus on like Xbox games. Like they're playing like Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, dude,
it's playing like Halo. It was like all Xbox games they're showing off. So I wonder if like Microsoft has like a deal with this thing, maybe, or like maybe they're planning on something. I don't know.
Well, it's
like
it was the same with ROG because the thing is like you're gonna see that whenever any company makes one of these, you're just gonna see that because unless it's like maybe Valve when they do it, you won't because they'll probably be linked to Steam OS. But like for Lenovo, for Asus, for like anybody who wants to get into that, like I know what's the other ones? You brought it up earlier, GPT. Said Chat GPT. God. I don't know.
But yeah, I think he's muted right now. I think he said he was gone for a bit. Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah,
GBD
like
GBD Win. I don't know.
Yeah, GBD Win. But
GBD.
like any of these like companies that make one, it's like it's running off of Windows.
Yeah.
So like you would imagine the smart thing to do would be just get some money from Microsoft and show some Xbox games in your advertisement.
Yeah, because it's just prime. It's just a prime thing for like Game Pass. It's just like, hey, you use Game Pass on this thing.
It's perfect for it, and it helps it helps both companies because they're getting money from Microsoft for that advertisement, and then Microsoft is also like, hey, now we don't need to make a handheld.
Yeah, I know they're basically making handhelds for them if you think about it.
Exactly, like all these companies are making handheld Xboxes basically.
Yeah, even Phil Spencer himself says like he sees his his ally basically as a portable Xbox. That's what Phil Spencer sees
Exactly.
his ally as. So
And the Steam Deck is mine. I
Yeah.
mean, shit. So it's perfect. Works both ways, honestly. But yeah, does anybody else have anything to say about the Lenovo Legion Go?
yeah, it looks fucking sick. It looks pretty sick. I just gotta.
That shit looks
very-
fucking
very
turned,
forward.
dog.
That's pretty fucking dope. Oh, you guys.
That shit looks pretty goddamn lit, brother.
I want to be able
Goddamn.
to play
Pretty
my
sick.
not so bad Atari Jaguar on it. I'm never gonna let you go. I'm never gonna let that go. I'm gonna be forever salty.
It's fine. It's fine because my Jaguar is probably more expensive than that thing. too.
Yeah, no, it
No,
is.
it is.
Literally is.
It is.
It
Tom-
literally is.
Tom in the chat says super chats win. On this channel, we're a ways away from that.
Give us a good 4 years, maybe.
Yeah, give us 4 or 5
Yeah.
years and check back in with us, and we'll have those up and going for you, bud.
Yeah.
But
And
not right now.
every chat on our thing might as well be a super chat. You know, like every.
Yeah.
Tom's like the only person in 5 years. He just donates $1 every stream. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, so next up on the list of topics, and this is like the second big thing we'll talk about before we get into Starfield, is PlayStation Plus increasing their prices across the board, and these prices are pretty damn stupid. If I do say so myself, I believe the one that really irked me. I know there's 3 different tiers of PS Plus. The one that really irked me was the base tier going from $60 to $80 a year.
So I'm going to
Now-
spend over $100 just to have online on my PlayStation. That's insane. That's
I was about to say it's 80, but then you're in Canada, so God, yeah,
it's
not-
gonna be
not-
over $100.
not looking
gonna be
good for
over.
you, Twan.
It's gonna be over
Um,
$100 just so I could play my PS5 online.
Just
It's
so you
insane.
can get the privilege of having cloud saves,
So
Twan.
you can get them
If Twan
cloud
wants it,
saves,
okay, so
yeah.
if Twan wanted to have to buy, like, he wanted to buy PlayStation Plus and he needed to buy a year and he won the new Call of Duty, he's essentially paying like nearly $200.
That's
it's a
crazy when you think
scam.
about that.
Yeah,
Man,
like,
It's a
it just
scam.
shows you how much of a foothold they would have if Call of Duty went on Game Pass. Like that would just be it'd be a no brainer at that point.
yeah.
You know?
It is a scam. And can I say before we get into PS Plus, just to get this out of the way, both companies, Microsoft
Yeah.
and PlayStation, charging for multiplayer is the dumbest fucking thing. It needs to stop. I don't know, like, I don't know how long it's going to keep going, but it's so dumb that this is still happening, that we're charging for online multiplayer. And I get the whole reason is like, oh, we got to pay for security. You know, you don't have to deal with hackers and stuff like you do on PC. I get that. But in the case of Microsoft, you're Microsoft. You got the money, figure it out. In the case of Sony, you're making money. You're bragging about all these PS Plus subscribers. You're making money, figure it out. Okay?
Yeah.
But I just want to get that out of the way real quick. But PS Plus raising their prices across the board, 3 different tiers. So the base tier, like I said, goes from $60 to $80 every year. The extra tier goes up to $134 or $135 a year, and then the premium tier goes to $160, which I believe the premium tier is a $40 price increase from $120 to $160, and I believe extra is. Well, Ham, do you know what extra was by chance before this per year?
Extra, I thought extra was 99.
Okay, so $35 price increase for
It
extra.
was either 89 or 99.
I think it might be 99. I think it's a $35 price increase, and then
It is a $35 price increase.
Yeah, and then a $40 price increase for the premium tier. Now I'm gonna pass it off to you guys. Does anybody have anything to say about PlayStation raising the price of PS Plus? And
Yeah.
I might add on to this before you go, Ham. They're effectively doing this. This kicks in the day
When
that
is
Starfield officially launches, which I thought was just hysterical. So, with that being said, go ahead, Ham. I'm sorry, bud.
I'm not like thinking it's the worst thing in the world if you find a reason to raise your prices, but like I'm struggling to find what the reason was. Them advertising the team that just went out of business as
Yeah.
the game that they have to pretty much relaunch the prices just isn't exactly a good sign of what to it's not really a good sign to me as to what they're going to provide. I'm kind of like
Yeah.
they just announced that they're done and you kind of took that, and I mean, sure, I'm sure they're trying to make whatever they can on the way out the door, but
Sure, yeah.
at the same time I'm just like, are we bargain bin hunting right now on PlayStation? Like what are we doing here? Like, and keep in mind, it's still not as expensive as Game Pass, but
Sure.
you don't really get the same thing that you get on Game Pass either. So,
Yeah.
I thought J Rock kind of tied it up perfectly with his post. He said something on the level of they're raising the prices as if they've been giving you stuff, and it's just like if you look at PlayStation Plus Premium and whatnot, like one of the eerie things to me is the backwards compatible games are still pretty non-existent over there.
Yeah. That's an issue.
And then on top of it, you're dropping the PlayStation Portal, and it can't even fully utilize the PlayStation Plus Premium. And it's just kind of like you're charging more, but something can't even utilize it. So like, if you were like Matt likes games and was like, yo, I'm going to play the old God of Wars all the way up to the new one, you can't do that on your Portal.
That stinks.
You have to play you have to play the first several from the PS5 itself, and then you get to grab your $200 purchase and play the newer version.
But it's fun. I find it so half backwards that you can't cloud stream games directly off the device. Like, I feel like that would have been a no-brainer thing to have.
You would think, at the very least, you would think that would be like an easy thing to implement. It would be like
have like a basic ass UI, nothing too crazy. Like,
yeah, just literally put the PlayStation Remote Play app or the PlayStation app from PC. Just put that on there.
That's it.
That's all I got to do. But
not too much work.
I don't know. I guess they couldn't figure that out.
That's pretty wild when you mention it like that, because I have that app on my PC, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. But it's pretty nuts that you can't just have that as like a separate thing on there. Since if you can't do it, I mean, it'd be kind of cool to have like a separate thing that signs you in so you can do it, like just for these select things or whatnot. Or if you just want to play any of your PlayStation Plus games on there, and the other thing is strictly for what is strictly for your remote play of the games that you bought.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, that's a phenomenal thing to bring up that I didn't even think about.
It's interesting that, I mean, it's interesting. It's all sorts of things. It's interesting. It's terrible. It's stupid. It's many things.
It's a bad product.
Yeah, that they just like. I don't know. Like, sure, like, because you got to imagine, we're sat here doing this. You would imagine that the folks at Sony know more about what they're putting out, like their products they're putting out, than you would imagine that they do.
Yeah,
but this product just seems to fly in the face of that. Just flies entirely in the face of that theory.
it's just so tone deaf, you know. It's just such a tone deaf product.
It is,
you know.
and then to announce that product, fine, it stinks. You have a stinky product, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But to
Yeah,
announce that
Sorry.
product, yeah, and then immediately afterwards be like, oh, by the way, we're increasing the price of our our subscription service.
Yeah.
And it's like across the board for all 3 tiers. So it doesn't matter if you're in the lowest tier, it doesn't matter if you're in the highest tier. You're not safe. You're getting a price increase. And in fact, if you're in the highest tier, you're getting the biggest price increase. So it's confusing to me because they're not offering you really any, like, it would be like if Microsoft did that thing where they tried to announce the increase to Xbox Live Gold last year, at the end of last year.
Yeah, and they got flack for it, and they were like, "Fuck it, we're not doing it."
I mean, but when they announced it, they got shit for it. But it would have been it would have been equivalent to them announcing it at the end of last year, where it was like a year of them doing nothing. Granted, you know, Pentiment Grounded got its 1.0 release.
Yeah,
you know, people like it and everything.
yeah.
But doing nothing huge the entire year, and then saying, "Hey, we're doubling the price of Xbox Live Gold." It would have been the equivalent of that. That's basically what PlayStation's doing here. But PlayStation's whole thing is, oh, but we have Spider-Man at the end of the year. It's like, well, that's
Even
not.
though it
And
has nothing to do with the subscription at all.
exactly,
You know?
it's not in your subscription service. Like, if you were giving me Spider-Man day one in your subscription service, sign me the fuck
okay,
up.
this makes sense. You know,
Yeah, sign me up. Where can I sign up for that? But you're raising the price of your subscription service, and all you offer me. I can't speak for anyone else. All you offer me is cloud saves. I'm not playing multiplayer on PlayStation. I don't do that. That's not what my PlayStation's for. I only subscribe to it for cloud saves. Every now and then you might have a game in your service that I care to download. Maybe like 3 times a year it happens. But other than that, it's cloud saves. And honestly, cloud saves to me aren't worth $80. If I want to play a game again, like if I want to start God of War Ragnarok or Ghost of Tsushima again, I'll start it over. I don't care. I really don't care. I just don't care enough to
do
pay.
it the old-fashioned way, where you put the save files in a USB.
Yep.
Just do it the old-fashioned way.
I mean, yeah, we were on a show with Pixelbit G the other day, and he was saying the exact same thing. Put them on a USB drive. I'm about to do that. Yeah. Because it's not worth $80 to have cloud saves, especially when it's something that on PC,
Xbox does it for free as well. Like,
yeah, Xbox PC. Like, I boot up my Xbox. Like, I've been playing Starfield on Series S like the last few hours. I can turn my Series S off tonight. Turn on my Series X. It's right there. Has nothing to do with my subscription. It's just right there.
On your PC. Go back on your PC, and it's right there as well.
Exactly. Same. Switch to my PC. On PC, like even on Steam or whatever, I boot Fallout 4 up on my Steam library on my PC. I turn it off. I boot it up on my Steam Deck. It's right there. It's it's literally free. So
fighting spider octopuses right now. I just want to let the chat know.
Proud of you, Mike, and the chat's proud of you too, Mike.
Starfield's wild, man. I just want to get.
Oh, is it the land octopuses?
We're gonna be getting to Starfield pretty damn quick. But yeah, I mean,
it has an asshole. Okay, I'll talk about that later too.
But yeah, does anybody like? I know Mike, you don't even have a PS5, so it doesn't really affect you.
PS5 owner.
Twan, are you sticking with your subscription for PS Plus?
Man, I don't know, man. I'm kind of like, I probably end up but I'm not gonna be happy doing it. That's for sure. You know?
I get that. Ham, what about you? Are you sticking with it? What are you on? Are you on premium or are you on extra?
I have premium right now.
I just have the basic ass one, so I'm not like spending that much on it. So
yeah, I have the premium right now, and I really wish I wouldn't have did it, because I just never take advantage of it. And it's not that because the selection's bad. It's just I played through a lot of that selection already. Yeah. Or own a lot of that selection already. So it's just not as gripping for me. And I bought it, or not bought it, I subscribed to it knowing that I felt that way about some of those games already, but I figured that they'd add some big time ones that I'm really looking forward to, or that I may be looking forward to, and it just never really happened. In fact, sometimes they're just adding games that I've already played over on Xbox or that's currently on Xbox's Game Pass. So it's just like really nothing for me. And that's where I already spend majority of my time. So not shitting on the PlayStation. I'm not sure if I'm not sure how fast I'm going to re-up for it. But the thing is I'll probably end up getting Essential.
Okay.
I just don't know when. I'm just not really dying to do that. I don't even know, like to be honest, I don't even know the next multiplayer game on PlayStation that I'm interested in. Like I was gonna say Marathon, but that's coming out everywhere.
Yeah,
Coming out
Xbox.
everywhere. And even
I don't
even
know
then,
when
that's
the
going to be
burger
free to
game
play.
is coming.
The burger game.
I don't know when the burger game's coming out. Yeah, I just it seems like Sony's best games I don't need internet for.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not even a slam on them. That's actually pretty cool, you know?
It is.
So like, especially since I play all my multiplayer games on Xbox, it's just like, yo, I mean, that's not a bad thing. A console that, I don't really need internet other than updates for. Not mad at that. It just kind of stinks that there's a service there that I could have got into, but they just haven't made the strides that I'm looking for. And then on top of that, then they raise the prices. So it makes it a little less understandable to me. But I mean, as Cozy said on our show, Bullsitting, like, if, consumers are going to pay the price, make them pay.
Definitely.
And I mean that, and it really, and although you see a little bit of people like frustrated on Twitter and stuff like that
didn't
about
mean
it,
that as a form of violence, though. Are we sure Cozy didn't mean that as a threat?
oh, I'm sure she did. But
she was in rare form that day, so probably.
Yeah, she really was. She was out of her goddamn mind. But yeah, if they want to, I mean, I think you know what? If I was running a business and people openly shilled for me even when I did bad,
yeah,
fuck it. Yeah, fuck it.
I'd do it. Shoot, you want to keep paying crazy prices? You're down for that, and you're gonna shit on the other consoles games that are
objectively
like
good.
technically, yeah, that are like factually like pretty good and are fun.
Yeah.
And you're not budging. Well, you're at the right place. Like don't budge, please don't budge. Pay these more prices and continue to shill for me. Like, sure.
That's a really good point, because
I mean, if somebody came to my TSWS channel and told me that you're the adoring fan, just came up and was just like, absolutely love you, you're the greatest, I'm rocking with you forever, and here's $1,000 super chat like every other week and whatnot, and I personally am like maybe telling them lies and and I'm not providing them the best coverage. If they're gonna keep saying what they got to say about me and keep paying me, who am I to tell them to not?
Yeah. It only makes sense. And it's a good point you bring up about the competition and everything, because I'll tell you, I don't know about you guys, but I check Twitter every now and then. But once, like, since Starfield has launched, like I get on Twitter before I go to bed. Like, when I wake up, I'll check it for a little bit. After I eat or something, I'll check it for a little bit, and then before I go to bed, I'll check it for a little bit. But I'm not on Twitter the way I was before Starfield launched. It's not like a habit.
Oh god, yeah,
This weekend, it's
not
not a
worth it.
habit.
It's not worth it.
So, well, it's not even. It's just like I'm busy playing Starfield. But
That
whenever
too, yeah.
but you also notice when you get on there, like this news about PS Plus doing the price increase just dropped this week. But you like a good example, Nick Marcellus. What's he doing? He's fucking clowning on Starfield. Why don't you talk to your followers about PS Plus raising the price for like their subscription service that's going to offer you nothing worth more than what they already offer you. They're not doing anything to increase that value,
Yeah.
but they're raising the price, and instead of talking about it, you're talking about 300 times
Xbox's
zoom ins.
biggest game, yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about 300 times zoom ins on NPCs' faces in Starfield. It's like, okay, all right, dude. I mean,
I'm glad we have a good discussion here.
and enjoy that price increase, and enjoy the next one too, and the one after that, and just enjoy it all. But it's silly, and yeah, I agree with what Cozy said on the show the other day. If they're gonna keep doing it, then I mean, hey, it's free money at that point. Why would you not?
It's like a page out of the book of Apple, we're gonna marginally upgrade, but it's gonna be a spanking wild price every time. And you know what? You're gonna buy it. And I don't really have to, I don't have to put much effort into it. Like, sure, and I don't want to like sound disrespectful about Apple because their products are really nice. Or they're premium products, are good.
Sure, yeah.
But for the love of God, the way that like they've been found pretty much guilty of the way that they treat like iPhones a few years after they come out, to the point where they like
a type of
update
lawsuit where they got exposed for actually purposely crippling older batteries on phones via updates, and they have to pay for people's battery replacements now and all kinds of crazy shady shit.
Exactly. Yeah. So like they're doing that and people are still like, give me more. And and it's wild, but then you have like a company like Samsung or like Microsoft may do something like that, and they want to wage war. Like people literally want to wage war if like Microsoft does anything as bad as
Apple,
what like market leader or what Apple does, like Sony. I've been saying this for years now. Like Sony is Apple in gaming. They are 100% Apple in gaming. Their products are phenomenal, but you're gonna fucking pay. You're gonna pay, and you're gonna have
for
to
a nice premium.
Stay in their lane. They're not gonna. They really don't want to work with others. They just want you to just kind of stay with them and stay
bend over.
Yep. And it stinks. Well, I mean, hey, it stinks for consumers, but at the end of the day, if consumers are still buying it, does it really stink?
Yeah. I mean, I can see the value for something like premium if someone only has a PlayStation. Like for us, we have a Game Pass and all that stuff, so it's like not as worth it for us, obviously. But who knows? Maybe someone with just a PlayStation, maybe it is worth it for them. I can't really, I'm not really in that situation, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, if you only have a PlayStation, then this really doesn't, because you're gonna get it because it's what you have. Yeah, and that's fine. Like nobody, like you have what you have, enjoy it. But like when you have multiple things, it's kind of a privilege to be able to just sit back and look at something like this and be like, what the fuck are you even thinking? Like, what are you guys even thinking over there? But it is what it is. They're gonna charge the price they're gonna charge. People are gonna buy it, and people are gonna subscribe. They're gonna dude. People running out now. Like one of my mutuals on Twitter was like, "Yo, you better stack up now. Stack up now on like a CD key site." Yeah, just like go to a CD key site and stack up for like 3 years. I'm like, I'm all set, dude. I'm all
Oh,
set.
yeah. I wouldn't care enough to do that.
Yeah, I
Like,
really don't care. I'm not stacking.
it's like going to a gas station and like getting a bunch of gas before the gas prices go up. It's like doing something like that.
So yeah, if I need
I mean,
it, I'll
that's
get
actually
it.
kind of a smart idea.
But it's like it's so much ever
yeah,
in my pocket.
I mean,
just,
if someone wants, I guess, the PlayStation
Yeah.
online that much.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just like, this planet's fucking scary. There's so many spider squids everywhere. I'm scared. Like, that's why I'm not contributing. I'm scared. There's
Well,
spider squids literally everywhere.
Thankfully for you, Mike, our next topic is Starfield.
Fucking spider squids.
No, it's
Our next subject is
Starfield.
Plenty of fucking Jesus. Sorry.
Starfield,
Okay,
Mike.
sorry.
It's time to talk about Starfield.
Let's go.
So we have impressions. I mean, none of us have beat the game, obviously. So
Yeah,
we're just gonna do impressions, and then I want to talk a little bit about just the general
Consensus,
online
discussion.
Yeah,
of course.
consensus. I wouldn't call it that. The general online discourse about Starfield.
Yeah. Oh man.
But before we get into that, I want to pass it off to Ham. What are you thinking about Starfield so far? How are you feeling about it?
Oh man, I'm feeling like I'm still like I've been playing this game about like 20 hours. I'd say at least, maybe like a day and a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little more. I don't know, but like. Sorry about that. So, yeah, I've been playing it, and like I said, I'm like maybe like a day and a half, maybe a little bit more into it, and I'm still a little intimidated. by this game. Like, it's just so dang big. There's so much to do. I don't want the story to end because it's a good story if you pay attention.
It's a really good story.
The writing's fantastic.
I'm all around just kind of. I'm all around just like excited and happy about this game. It literally is exactly what I wanted. Sure, there are some things that frustrate me. We might get into that, will we?
Mm-hmm. The map, for example.
I'm asking a question.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, let us know.
Well, I wasn't sure if you wanted me just to go after it and just say it, or
go for it.
There's going to be like a specific subject.
No, go for it. But
Yeah,
because if anybody has anything that they don't like about it, add that into your impressions.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and talk about some of the things I don't like. One of the things that really bugs me, and it kind of breaks a little bit of the immersion, is that and I was telling you about this, Matt. Your character will sometimes look left, and they just keep looking that way. Yeah. And you go to pan left, and there's nothing there, and you're like, "Why is he looking to the left?" And it just kind of like it's just a little stupid and annoying.
I'm noticing this. Why is he looking to the left?
Wait, is that like when you're in third person or something?
In third person, yeah.
He's like always striking a pose almost.
And
it's like he sees like a ghost
that often. So,
like I don't know what he sees, but he is seeing it.
He's seeing it all colors and shapes.
Let's see another one that kind of that is a little bit of a bugger.
That sounds more like a nitpick than more of like an actual complaint, though.
Well, yeah, and a lot of these are nitpicks because I mean, no game's perfect.
100%, yeah.
Right? And plus, trying to make it perfect is making it not perfect for a lot of other people. So
exactly.
Or you know what I'm saying? Making it perfect for one person is making it not perfect for a lot of others. So
yeah.
But yeah, there's that. I wish there were like rovers that you could drive.
Yeah, so you're not walking on foot all the time.
Yeah, it'd just be kind of nice, kind of like that, like a horse companion kind of type of thing. Like,
yeah.
But instead, it's like a like a Mars rover kind of thing. That would be pretty cool. Even
Or
if
like,
it wasn't
like a space motorcycle or something. I don't know. Like,
yeah, even if it wasn't like the fastest or whatnot, as long as it's just a little bit faster than
running.
my run,
Yeah.
I'd like to have it.
Yeah.
Let's see. There was something that was pretty serious that I didn't that I wish.
Definitely the map isn't one that a lot of people bring up.
I don't really understand that gripe, I guess. I'm like I'm a little I don't understand the whole map gripe because I feel like I'm getting around fine.
Yeah, I'm getting around fine. It's just I guess there's some people where they get lost easy. They want a little map to look at, and I guess because a lot nowadays we're kind of spoiled with just having instant access to looking at maps.
I admit I kind of do miss the
Mm.
classic like
Touching on,
Oblivion,
like, a touchpad or
Fallout,
something.
like
Yeah.
kind of mini map compass type of thing. You know what I'm talking about, Matt? You
Well,
played
but they
compass.
kind
Yeah.
of do have it.
No,
in
they
the
do.
have a
like,
I'm talking about
compass.
the
They do have a
classic. I mean,
compass, yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
I'm
He's,
not saying
he's
it's
talking about like
playing.
the line at the top of the screen
Yeah,
where it's
oh,
like
yeah.
that.
like Skyrim
Yeah, like
and whatnot.
yeah, like that
Yeah.
type. For some reason, I do aesthetically like I prefer that, but it's not like it's like a complaint of mine. It's just
Well,
is
yeah, it's just a
something.
different. It doesn't
It's
have
just
a
a
compass.
different. It's
just,
literally just something different.
yeah.
Like there's a reason why
Yeah.
it's not there because it's a
Designed
completely new
differently.
IP. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like I don't know. I feel like at first navigating the whole map, local map, space map, planet map, galaxy map is like a little cumbersome and a little bit confusing, but it's not like this impossible
It's something to
task
get
that
used to,
I've
though.
seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's not this impossible task. I've seen a lot
Yeah.
of comments make it seem like this game is just
Yeah.
nothing but menus and trying to fight the game to figure out what you got to do. It's like, dude, if I of all people can figure it out, then anyone can figure this shit out. That's my
Mhm.
take.
One thing I wish like I could change like fundamentally in the game is I think to me it's fine if like maybe I can't like fly into orbit, I guess, or like fly completely from space
Yeah.
into the planet, I guess. But like what I'd like to be able to do is to just land my ship where I want to or be able to move it. Just be able just to move it like, hey, I'm gonna be over here, but I want my ship kind of close. Like, I understand I can fast travel to it, sure, but I'd rather just kind of like if I could scoot it, a couple miles in the direction that I want to go or something, that would be really dope
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
But
I
other
feel
than that,
like precisely choosing your landing spot. I'm guessing, or
pretty much just like, hey, like, sure, maybe I can't do that at New Atlanta.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can't do it in like some of these like seriously populated places where it's like
Yeah. You can't
this
just
is
land on
where
a
you gotta
person,
land.
know.
Yeah, I can't just land on top of the lodge,
Yeah.
but like on a planet or on something like a moon, it'd be nice to be like, all right, I see something in the distance. I kind of want to be able to leave this stuff in my in my ship, but have quick acts but like leave and come back and be like, oh, maybe I want to switch it up or something like that. The last thing I'd say that I wish I could do that I can't is have multiple people following. So like adoring kid, adoring fan, and like Andreja or whatever. Like have I'd like to have at least like 2 people running with me. I think that would be pretty cool. Kind of like Mass Effect.
Space. more inventory
More
space.
inventory space, but also it'd be nice to have the extra bit of coverage. And I wish I could tell them what to do. Like, hey, go that way, or just a little bit more than stay right here, because that's all you kind of have
Yeah.
right now is just like stay right here
Or just have a
or
conversation with them, you know.
or a conversation. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so I mean, those are kind of like my nitpicks and stuff that I either wish they had or feel like they could have did a little bit better on.
What are your thoughts on the loading screens?
You know, I mean, they don't bother me because I get it.
Yeah.
Like the game is just too like I don't know what people are really expecting from a game that has like galaxies upon galaxies in it. Like, were you expecting to seamlessly do everything and be able to store stuff everywhere and have all these conversations going on within the city at the same time? You didn't think that they'd have to load in restaurants and people talking to each other and parts of missions being available? Like in my opinion, I feel like the people arguing about load screens, like some of them, sure, it can kind of seem like when you're going from load screen to a load screen, that can kind of seem a little like
Yeah.
kind of frustrating at times. But when I think but then when I sit back and I think about how big this game is and how many things it's doing, it doesn't bother me because
Yeah, especially they're quick too, right? They're like 3 seconds, 3 4 second long.
they're not super long, and
Yeah.
and it's just, to me, it's just not that big of a deal for the size this game is. If this game was half the size, or if it was if it wasn't like an RPG that's trying to do a billion different things, then I would maybe be a little flustered or something with it. But I just can't really be that much when I know that
there's just so much going on.
Yeah, there's just too much other stuff going on. To me, I think it'd be silly to expect to go and leave the planet and then end up somewhere else, and it's like carrying on the exact same conversation that it was just a moment ago. Like,
I had to say something real cool
like,
that just
I don't
happened
know.
that isn't like a major story thing. It's like I just picked up a random book. My character read a blurb from it, and then I just got a quest started because I read a chapter of a book. Like, like that. Like, there's
That's
something
the
about
kind of amount of things going on. I'm saying, you know, it's just
like
like so
Bethesda.
much.
There's just something about Bethesda games, man, that just like it's like I don't know. I'm just so appreciative of these games. It's
Just the
hard to
small
explain.
things. Just the small
It's
things about them.
yeah, it's like there's always like a little adventure right around the corner, and I appreciate it beyond words. Really.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Well, I struggle to kind of like when people say this isn't doing that or this isn't doing this. I'm struggling to find a game that does everything that they're asking for. Like I just don't think it exists.
No, it doesn't.
And then you have Twan coming in here earlier saying somebody is complaining that the game has RPG elements
Because it's an because it's an RPG, right?
and here's my kind of quick, just kind of breeze by, because I'm sure we'll get a little bit deeper into it. Just kind of frustration with the community on some of the people that are like rating this game is it seems like they don't know what they're rating. Like, I seen one person on Twitter earlier saying this game like was a 6 out of 10 until I put cheat codes in, and then it was a 7 out of 10. And I'm just like, you put cheat codes in this? Like I
understand code or something like up,
well,
down,
I
down.
understand. I understand. Play a game how you want to. You spend your money on it, whatever. Right? But like, I feel like you saying that and giving a rating at the same time is just kind of like, it sounds like we're a couple days from release and you've already given up and put cheat codes and stuff in. At what, like, how much time did you really give it? Or are you the kind of person that doesn't have the kind of time to play this game?
Yeah, I mean,
Because
exactly.
because I think that's a big deal. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
hey, this game scored low for me personally because I am a kind of fly by night player. Well, then that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Well, it's not for everyone, right? That's no game is.
But like this game is overrated and it wasn't fun until I put cheat codes in. To me, is just kind of like it just kind of sounded like a cop out a little bit.
Yeah,
But
100%.
Yeah, I feel it.
I didn't want to give it that much time, so I didn't, and I found a loophole, and there it is. And because I'm just like thinking, you're putting in cheat codes. There's no way you heard that much dialogue already.
Mhm.
Like you probably didn't do too much discovering because you had everything given to you.
Yep.
So you just like you broke the game
Mhm.
to make it like work for you instead of you working, to understand the game.
Mhm.
It's very much like if I were to, pick up Grand Theft Auto and just put in the cheat codes in it 3 missions in. It's just like,
Mhm. But it's fun.
how
Though.
am
It's
I
still fun
able to really
challenge.
tell you if this game's good or not if I just did everything possible that,
Mhm.
you know, or I went out of my way to make sure that I didn't have to, work too hard or try or even attempt to understand it. Like I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me when I seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many takes online. Just so many brain
There
dead
is.
takes.
It's breaking the internet for
Well, so
real.
yeah, I mean, this is the
Breaking
first
people.
time like ever they actually have to
Oh,
block people on Twitter. Like it's
dude,
just so bad.
it's breaking. I can't wait to get to that. But dude, because one guy in particular was just fuck. It was
We're
just
gonna talk
fucking
about
hilarious. We
the
will.
guy that was
Yeah.
over the character creation.
Yes, this
Oh
dude.
my
Oh,
God.
this dude was in shambles, and I
This man
loved it.
was fucking like,
He was fucking devastated.
oh
I'm
my
s-
God.
I'm
No,
sorry,
it's funny. It's
but
funny, man.
but
Oh my God.
before we get into that, okay, so Ham got his impressions of the game out of the way. Twan, I'm interested to
Mhm.
hear yours because I haven't talked to you since this game released. It's the
Mhm.
first time I'm talking to you since.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
what are your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I think you already know I genuinely like the game. Like I think you saw even some tweets. Like I made it pretty obvious that I'm really enjoying my time with this game. Like I feel like I made that pretty
As you
obvious.
should, kid.
But
As you should.
yeah, man,
Smart
so
man.
far the game is fantastic. Like this is easily the highest quality release Bethesda has ever made at launch. Like
Oh,
by
dude.
far.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like it's just
Objectively.
yeah, like you could feel the quality in this game. Especially like even I'm just playing on console, it feels very smooth. You know, I'm not really
I've
seeing any
seen
glitches at
I've
all.
seen a lot of console gameplay, and how smooth it is. That frame pacing is spot on.
It's
Yeah.
fucking solid. It's very impressive. Like you almost. Todd wasn't lying. I think it was Todd or Pete Hines. I can't remember. Who said you don't think about the frame rate when you're playing, even though you think you
Yeah.
would because it's 30 FPS. It's in your head that it's 30 FPS.
Yeah.
But once you play, you sit down, you play for 20, 30 minutes. You don't even think about it.
Now, even like 15 minutes, I'm like, yeah, like I wouldn't even think about it, you know. It's just I'm just playing the game, you know. It's like yeah, it could
really
be
nice.
yeah, it's just
But keep
yeah,
going. So I'm sorry.
yeah. But yeah, anyways, yeah, very polished release. Like honestly, like there's no shot like if Xbox, you know, if they never worked with Xbox to release this game, if this was just a multi-platform release, PS5, Xbox, there's no way it would be in this good of a state that it is in right now.
No, it would have been out a few years
Yeah.
ago, and it would have been in a pretty gnarly.
It could have been a fucking disaster.
It could have potentially been another Fallout 76, honestly. Like
No,
who
yeah.
knows, like, like,
Maybe.
you
It's
really-
completely possible.
it could have definitely been another scenario. Like
I mean,
that.
hell, for that matter, it could have been another Fallout 4. Listen, I love Fallout 4, but when Fallout 4 launched, that thing was in shambles. That thing was fucked. Skyrim was also fucked when it launched.
Yeah.
So it's like to come all the way from that to where we are now with Starfield, it's night and day.
Oh,
Night and
100%.
day.
And then even the space traversal, I know a lot of people hate on it for some reason, even though I don't know what the hell people were expecting when they were playing this game. like, like they're all like, "Oh, but No Man's Sky." But like, guys, if you just play No Man's Sky, then don't play this game if you're expecting just to fly around, like, because that's not the way this game was designed. It was never designed to be No Man's Sky or Elite Dangerous or whatever, or Star Citizen or anything like that. This was RPG. This is, Bethesda RPG in space, and that's what it is. And I think the decision that they made to just have you quickly quick travel to planets, I think that was honestly the right decision. Because I mean, yeah, it would be nice to maybe fly and land to a planet the first 20 or 30 times, but eventually that'd get old, and people would probably just do the fast travel route anyways. I feel like it's just been a waste of resources, in my opinion. But yeah, I think they made the right call with all that kind of stuff.
I
And
just
this is
got a gun. I gotta say it real quick. That's something that's straight out of Dead Space, and that's all I'm gonna say. This shit is right out of Dead Space. Holy shit!
And another thing I wanted to say. Fuck, what was I gonna say again?
Sorry, Twan.
Fuck, man. What was I gonna say?
I fucked up.
Okay,
Twan.
so I was
I'm
talking
sorry.
about no.
I'm sorry.
I was talking about space. Oh yeah. Now I know what I was talking about. But yeah, this is probably even like the RPG elements in this game. This is definitely like they really like amp the RPG elements in this game, in my opinion. Like if you want to be stealth, like you really gotta invest in stealth, right? Like you gotta like
it's actually a stealth build. Like
yeah, right. Like you
actually
have to build
make
yourself
a
to be
build.
stealth. Yeah, like you have to, like, let's say if you want your character to be a specific way, you have to build your character to be in that specific way. The game just doesn't hand it to you. Like you literally have to. Yeah, that's I love that, right? Because it's not like, okay, here you go, you have everything and just kind of do it. But no, it's like you have to make what you want your character to be, and I just love that. It's not just this guy. It's just the jack of all trades kind of thing, It's your character. It's how you are and how you want to play the game, which is really nice. So
yep. And that's something that's really interesting, being someone who started playing Bethesda games with Skyrim. Mm-hmm. Skyrim, I'll say, the more I played of Oblivion, I think Oblivion is a better RPG than Skyrim. I think Skyrim is a better game than Oblivion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because Skyrim definitely took away a lot of the RPG elements.
Yes, and even Fallout 4 even stripped back the RPG elements even further than Skyrim did.
Well, this game brings them all back.
Brings them all back to where because I remember making my character in Oblivion, because I only recently played Oblivion, really got into it for the first time recently, and making your character on Oblivion, you pick what you want to be, and that's what you are. You have to dedicate what you do in game to match what you are, to level those skills up, to then become stronger at those things. Whereas in Skyrim and Fallout 4, it's Fallout 4 is a whole different thing, but Skyrim, I can pick whatever. I can pick anything. I can say, I'm going to be an archer, but then by the time I beat the game, I'm just using axes all the time. I'm just using axes and shields, and I don't ever use a bow. And it doesn't really matter because you can do that. But this game feels much more like Oblivion, to where it's you focus in on what you want to be from the start of the game, and then you level that thing up.
And you build yourself up. Yeah.
Yes. And it's also not restrictive to the point you can only be that. It's very well done, in my opinion. It some people might be mad it's not on the restrictiveness of Morrowind, where you have to essentially dump everything into a specific build. Even though in Morrowind you could diverge, but it was more about building that specific build. But this game's just great.
I wish it was Morrowind, so that I could focus on boxing, but then whenever I try to shoot somebody at point blank range, I miss.
Yeah.
I just miss my shots. That's one thing I don't love about Morrowind, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, but, do not blame you. Do not blame you.
But yeah, Twan, you have anything else to say about Starfield?
Oh, fuck, what was it? What else was it? So yeah, RPG. Yeah, RPG's full effect in there. Fantastic. Yeah, gunplay is very good, honestly. I'm actually shocked how good the gunplay is. This is easily, hands down. I don't think it's a contest. This is easily Bethesda's best gunplay in a video game ever.
Yeah.
I agree
100%.
like, like when I was playing this game, I'm like fighting, like it feels satisfying, dude. I'm like, man, I'm impressed. Like I was genuinely impressed when I started,
Were you, Twan?
playing the
Were you
game.
impressed? I'm sorry.
So yeah, honestly, A+ at that. I'm pretty sure its software helped out, and I could
Actually,
definitely.
not with the
No,
combat.
not
They
with
did with
combat.
they
Really?
did with some visual related stuff, which is kind of horrifying that this game
Yeah.
is as it is on release on PC. But
No.
apparently, it's actually something weird like motion blur or something. It was something really
Okay.
weird they helped out with. I can't remember what, but actually, this is like
think-
Bethesda, like if I'm not mistaken, did this in combat mostly or if not entirely in house.
Mhm.
Yeah, they figured it out. I think the thing that id Software was helping with was the motion blur to make it feel as good as it does on consoles, because
Mhm.
30 FPS being 30 FPS, you
Yeah.
need some very good motion blur
Yep.
to make
Mhm.
that feel as smooth as it does on console, because it does feel smooth. I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't make any sense when you say it out loud being
Yeah.
that's 30 FPS, but it does feel just fucking smooth. It's weird to
Mhm.
say.
And what else was I say? And the thing about this game, I think the game could look absolutely gorgeous at times, but then it could also look very bad at times. Like it really
Oh.
depends on the lighting. I feel, you know, like I don't even know how to explain it. Sorry, Matt. Were you say something?
No, I'm just agreeing with you. Just agreeing
Oh
with
yeah, right. So you agree, right? So like it could either it's almost like there's no in between. It's just it's either very good or very bad. So
you. Yeah.
yeah, it really depends. Like I said, it depends on the location. It depends on the lighting. I feel like lighting is very important. Like like they'll like even New Atlantis, right? Like in daytime, I think it looks great, and nighttime sometimes it could look a little weird, depending on where. I feel like this game could really benefited if it used like a more of a fixed lighting system. But I think the lighting is dynamic in this game. If I'm not wrong.
I don't
It,
entirely
it
remember.
has
Like,
some type of real-time global
Yeah.
illumination.
fuckery
So yeah, that
going
could
on.
definitely be it, right? Like
But
I feel like this game would have looked a lot better consistently if it used a more fixed lighting system. But I mean, I guess obviously they didn't want to go with that, right? They want to go with the dynamic stuff. So
I mean,
whatever,
like
I get it.
it's
But
still like it is still kind of how it is done though, since it's not ray tracing. It is technically still fixed. It's
yeah,
like
Yeah.
a more like lifelike.
mhm.
It's not like the Outer Worlds where it's fucking pitch black. That shit is. I mean, that's not ray tracing either. But Jesus,
Yeah,
I wish they would fix that because that's
Yeah.
just awful.
yeah,
You'll be out in
Yeah.
the middle of the night and you just can't see anything. They don't give you a flashlight. They don't give you anything. Almost said flashlight.
yeah.
They don't give you a flashlight.
Oh my god, what are we
Jesus.
doing?
True.
I like how
Where's the
Ham hears
conversation going?
Outer Worlds didn't give me a flashlight. 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Goddamn right.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
but
Okay.
yeah, the one of the main gripes I have about the game is definitely the map system for sure. Like there's sometimes where I just want to find a shop and I'm like, fuck, where is it? So I kind of just get lost. You gotta look at signs and everything. I mean, I guess it does try to make you a bit more aware of your surroundings, but at the same time, it would have been really nice to have a map, especially like me that someone has like ADHD, right? It's like it's hard to focus, right? So, but other than that, yeah, game is fantastic. Easily like from what I played, like 8 at the bare minimum. It could easily be like a 9, 8 to 9 in that range, at least far from what I've played. Can't obviously put a final number on it, right? But it's fantastic so far.
Good to hear.
All right.
Good to hear. Mike, what about you, bud? How do you feel? Your initial impressions of Starfield?
This game's just incredible. I adore it. It's fantastic. It's so much fun to just explore. Sometimes if I start to get a little burnt out on just visiting random planet after random planet, I'll just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go do a little bit of like the main story or main factions or main side whatever, and then I'm like, ooh, this looks cool. I'm gonna go over here to this planet, and it has weird. Like I just fucking saw squid spiders with assholes. And that was the entire planet essentially. So like it was wild. The game's fucking crazy. I love it. It's close to my love of Skyrim. It's not quite there, but I adore this game, and I'm gonna be playing it for a very long time.
It's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. Do you have any? What?
There's the
Wait.
one thing I wanted to bring up that like this game, I feel like it has enough of that like Bethesda jank where it's charming. Like it feels like a classic Bethesda game, if that makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
just I don't know how to put it, but it just has the right amount of Bethesda jank where it just has
No,
that
yeah,
charm
it
to
does. It does. I
you
know
know?
exactly what
Like-
you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
like, I've just seen so many funny clips. Like for example, a guy throws a grenade and it blows up during the cutscene, and then
During
just
the cutscene.
like, he just
Were you
like
gonna
just
ask if I have any
cancels the
complaints,
cutscene.
Matt?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do you have any complaints with your
This
time
is
with
not
the game?
a complaint. This is just a preference. And the thing is it makes absolute sense why this isn't exactly I mean, it's actually still here, but not in the way that nostalgia makes me think of it from other Bethesda games. A part of me does kind of miss just having like a single continuous world filled with a ton of shit to do on that plane. You know what I mean? Not Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I do not want Starfield to be that. I do not want Starfield, a game about space exploration, about
Spicy
adventuring,
chickens.
about the unknown, about what is out there, about what is the origins of the world, to be a game on a single planet on a single plane. That's not what I'm saying, and I need that to be abundantly clear because there are people
Well, that's
out
what
there
Elder
making
Scrolls 6
claims
is
like
gonna be
that.
for. That's
Um,
what Elder Scrolls 6 is for.
it is something, admittedly, I do miss a little bit because
Yeah.
I love Bethesda, how they approach this is the world in which you live in, but they did a great job of making that on multiple planets. But you get what I mean. So that makes me excited for the Elder Scrolls, the new one coming out whenever the fuck that comes out when I die.
Yeah.
So other than that, complaints really, I'm sure I have some. I mean, the PC port has its issues, but I'm not really interested in talking about that crap. I can't think of a complaint off the top of my head. I know I've had my issues with the games at certain points, but nothing really to the point where like, oh fuck this sucks, this is shit. It's a very solid game, and I recommend people give it a shot. If you have Game Pass, if you have the means to play it, give it a shot.
Good PC or an Xbox or even good internet.
PC,
You play on
Xbox,
XCloud, I guess.
xCloud,
I mean,
like,
how Cozy's. I was about to say, Cozy's streaming it over the cloud.
dude, that
And
I'm gonna be honest with you,
she's
that
loving it.
pisses me off a little bit because she's like, why aren't you gonna play on your Xbox? I just want to stream it. I'm like, Cozy, I'm gonna fight you. Like,
Well,
play
she
it
doesn't.
once.
She on her Xbox. She didn't have an Xbox to play it.
Well, I thought she told me she did. I don't know why the hell
Did she
told
get
me
a
she didn't.
series? I don't think she got a. I don't think she got a series. She has a PC.
Why did she tell me
It's-
she had an Xbox like to natively play it on? I don't know.
She
She
has
could have
an
been just
Is
pulling
the
a
Xbox
PC
Cozy.
One.
not strong enough?
She could have
PC
been
not
just pulling the
strong enough?
She has
Cozy
like
and
a-
gaslighting me.
She has like a 6700 XT and something else. I forget what the processor is. But yeah, it's fine. Her PC's fine. But she's streaming. She's playing it over cloud right now. She's playing it over
That
cloud.
is so funny.
And she's loving it, apparently. I see her tweeting about it all the time.
That's good. Well, at least as long as she has a good internet, she has that shit wired up directly, you know. So yeah.
Seems like it works. But yeah, Mike, I'm sorry. I cut you off there.
No, it's that's really kind of it for me. Like, I just really adore the game, and
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah, most of my problems are definitely just like nitpicks, really.
you know what?
But-
Keep talking. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I was like making fun of Twan. Sorry, Twan. That's rude of me. But
It's all good. It's one.
no, true. Yeah. No, I love it. I'm very much looking forward to what the improvements they're going to make to this game. I'm also excited to find out what the fuck New Game Plus is, because apparently
Yeah.
everyone that's
There's a lot
beaten
of
the
hype
game
for that,
considers this
yeah.
shit like the next coming of Christ. So,
Yeah.
like, I need to figure that out, but I'm gonna do it at my own speed, and that's really it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm interested to see what New Game Plus is. As for myself, impressions on the game, I mean, it's everything I wanted it to be. It is literally everything I wanted it to be. It's everything I was hoping it would be. It's been. I mean, they announced this in 2018. They showed the logo. Been waiting
Yeah.
since they showed the logo. Back to back with Elder Scrolls 6, and we're gonna keep waiting for Elder Scrolls 6. But Starfield's
My
here.
grandkids will love it.
Exactly. And it's like, dude, the game is just so damn good. And like every element of this game, and especially like the way they did the intro, where it's like they throw you into combat right away, feels great. Then
Mhm.
immediately after that, you get your ship. They throw you into space. You're dog fighting. The dog
Yep.
fighting in this game is
Mhm.
fucking incredible. It's nuts. I like there's games that are dedicated entirely to space dogfights that don't do it as good as this game. And
Yeah, I feel you.
that's just one aspect of this game.
Mhm.
And like the RPG mechanics that like it's just fun. It's so
Mhm.
fun. It feels like it very much reminds me of when I got Skyrim for the first time and I just had a game that I was obsessed with playing. Like sitting here doing the
Mhm.
podcast, the amount of times I picked up this controller and had to stop myself it's just gross. It's just gross. And that's kind of how I was when Skyrim came out. It's like all I can think about is playing that game every night for hours and hours and hours until usually the sun came up. And that's kind of how I feel with this game. I mean, Ham knows. I was in a party with Ham and Vinny last night, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna get off and go to bed." Dude, I was up for another 2.5 hours.
Oh,
So for another 2.5 hours, and I just kept playing. I was in bed just playing, dude. And I mean, it's incredible. I honestly don't know what else I can say that you guys haven't really hit on. The combat, like Tuan said,
I
it's
got to comment
phenomenal.
on one thing about
Yeah,
people playing this game and interacting with people that are clearly rage farming to tell us how bad
Mhm.
this game is. Do not interact with them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't
That's
give them
that's
the
a pro
time of
tip.
day. Don't act. I mean, if you want to quote retweet, say, "Hey, look how dumb this is," whatever. Even I wouldn't personally want to give them that engagement, but like, this
Do
is
if
a
you want to do that,
really.
do a screenshot.
The
If you,
thing is, this is a really, really special game
Mhm.
that
We're
we
only gonna
don't
get like
get
once in a while.
often
Yeah. Yeah.
at all from a majority. Like we get great RPGs, don't get me wrong, but we don't necessarily get great sprawling Bethesda RPGs often.
Mhm.
yeah,
It's this is a very special game, a very special time for those of us that love this experience. For God's sake, we got the Cyberpunk DLC coming out in a few weeks. This is a very special and fun time, and
It's just
instead
a
of
very good time for gaming in general. This fantastic year 2023
like
has been.
it's like do not waste your time. Don't argue with the reviewers that are giving this game a 4 out of 10 or the 7 out of 10. Or don't waste your damn time. I understand, you want to defend the things you like. I get it. I'm not gonna pretend I don't understand, but don't waste
Mhm.
your time. Celebrate the
yeah.
fact this game exists. Celebrate the fact that we have not just this is a world, a Bethesda game.
But
It's
it's a
like
fucking
Todd
banger
said,
one.
it's a Bethesda universe.
Yeah.
Celebrate the fact that you can play that and what's to come. Like, don't
Mhm.
give interaction to the people that live off you being angry. Don't
Yeah.
give them the time of day because they don't deserve your time of day. They don't really deserve hell the massive following they got from being a clout chasing asshole. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
just enjoy the game. Just enjoy it. I
And
Mhm.
promise you, there's always going to be somebody out there that's going to talk shit about this game. There's always going to be someone talking some shit. So
yeah,
if I can give you my word of advice, fuck them and just enjoy it.
Mhm.
and take comfort in knowing that anytime you post a screenshot or a clip or whatever of yourself just having fun, if they happen to see that, it's gonna irk them a little bit. Just take a little bit
Oh
of
yeah.
a pleasure in knowing that, because Mike's right. There's no reason to quote, and I'm trying to be very careful about that too. Like we're gonna
Mhm.
talk about it. In fact, let's get right into it. Uh, I'm not even gonna mention his
Yeah.
name because again, don't want to drive people to his Twitter. But I'm
Yeah.
sure you guys saw it. I quote tweeted somebody who like quote tweeted or shared a video of this guy,
Mhm.
Oh,
just freaking the fuck out. Like,
pronouns,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
yeah, about about because whenever you make a character in Starfield, the last thing you do when you pick your name or whatever, it's like you pick your pronouns, and like if you
That's
pick
it.
a certain body type, it just like for the body type
Defaults
I
to it.
picked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
defaults to he.
it defaulted to he him. I didn't even have to look at it. I just hit
Yeah.
start and I was into the game.
Done. Yeah.
But this guy saw that, and dude, he had a full blown meltdown. Like you would have thought someone killed his fucking family. You would have 1,000% thought that. And it literally was just rage because pronouns exist in the game. And listen, I'm not here. Yeah, he was legit he was on the verge of tears. He was screaming. It was insane. And listen, I'm not here to be like, cope and seethe or whatever. Like, but just
I've seen enough of that. Like,
it's just like, dude, it's not a big deal. And it's certainly not that big of a deal. It's really not that big of a deal at all. But
it's not a deal in the first place at all. Like, it's
exactly, like it's not a big deal at all, but it's definitely not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So and then it's not just to him. You see other people too. Like I saw somebody.
I want a refund.
Yeah, I was really enjoying Starfield until I hit the pronoun screen. Well, then you didn't enjoy it because that's literally the beginning of the game.
Really?
Yeah. So you weren't enjoying it. You've just tweeted that.
They really
You've made
enjoyed
that
that
up.
title screen. They really enjoyed that title screen. I guess
you just made that up to what Mike was saying, clout chase, and it's like you've got people doing that on one side, talking, "Oh, I'm gonna refund the game. They asked me your pronouns, whatever shit." And then on the other side, what Mike was talking about, you've got people who are still like, oh, I'm going to get on Starfield and give my initial impressions, and I'm going to give it a fucking 3 out of 10. It's like,
yeah,
dude, no, first of all, no one cares.
Yeah.
Second of all, stop being disingenuous. Like, if you don't like this kind of game, fine. No big deal.
Yeah, it's not for you. Done.
It's
Move
not
on.
for everybody. It's not a big deal. Tons of games come out that aren't for me. They're still
you
great.
didn't get Final Fantasy. Yeah, you didn't bother with Final Fantasy, for example.
Yeah, I'm not playing Final Fantasy, but people love Final Fantasy. It's doing well. It's been around for like 30 fucking years. Like it's still doing it. So it doesn't matter if it's not for you. But if it's not for you, just move on, or just say it's not for you and move on. It's no big deal.
That's it. Don't trash it, right? Like,
but it's like this past summer, especially. I mean, since social media has been a thing, but this past summer, especially with like the whole revenue thing for Twitter Blue, or whatever the fuck it's called. It's like it feels like clout chasing, and all these accounts you see do have the check mark next to them, and it's like they're always with some outrageous opinion, where it's just like, dude, I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. It gets a little bit annoying to me, but I just went on a rant there. But you guys have seen, you've seen the review scores for Starfield, mostly positive review scores. I think, as of right now, I believe it's at like an 88 on OpenCritic and 87
like borderline
on
universal
Metacritic.
acclaim. Like
borderline
universal
acclaim. So it's about an 87, 88 on all these critic sites. But you have the outliers. IGN gave it a 7 out of 10. Who was it before the show? Twan, you said gave it a 4.
4 point. But that wasn't like a news outlet or anything. That was just one individual that did that.
That was just one. Okay, well, fine.
So but fuck that guy.
It was Forbes.
Yeah. Wasn't that? Didn't Forbes give it like a 9.5?
Actually, Paul Tassi.
he loved it.
Was like completely disheveled that IGN said what they said about.
I saw that.
He was just like, I don't understand.
He was like, I don't know how you could do that. He's like,
Paul Tassi went to bat for that, and God bless him, because he didn't have to, but he really went to bat against that IGN review.
And certain IGN people were applying to him, not happy that he did.
Again, go concede.
It's like, Paul and like a few other reviewers like a 7. Like,
I know, right? There's generally
like reviewers
confused.
like I get like an 8 maybe, but like a 7. And like once again, that review, like the one thing is I'm not gonna say I don't even give a fuck about the number. The more thing too is like he was like saying, "Oh, this game doesn't have this, that, this, and that, and this and that," when it does. And I'm like, I don't know how much the game needs to tell you that this exists. or what, but like sneaking is like one of the first skills you can unlock.
Yeah.
Like it is because like I also listen to a bit of that space. It's a situation that sucks. No one should be harassing him to the point that some people are
Yeah,
going through.
definitely.
But like I'm at this point where it's like I'm so removed. I'm so removed from the
Yeah.
situation as a whole.
I want to say real quick on that review specifically, because we talked about it on like me, Ham, Loke, and Code. We all talked about that with Pixelbit, and it seems like there were things in that review that just didn't make, like, it's not the number, like you said, it's the reasoning, it's the deduction of how he got to that number, where it's like the game's too big. Well, no shit, they told you it was huge. What'd you expect? Like, did you get the game thing, like when you got the review code where you're like, I can't wait to play this small linear experience, and then you got into it and you're like, well, why are there planets? What it's like, dude, they told you up front 1,000 planets. You're going to be going
his discourse around the game too for the months following up to it kind of stunk as well, to be honest with you. I'm not going to dogpile on the guy too much. There's a lot I could say.
He's been dogpiled enough on, that's for sure.
And it's like also like I don't really want to do that. I have my strong opinions on things, but realistically, all I know that matters to me is I'm playing a genuinely incredible game with so much love and so much effort put into it that it doesn't really matter that much, you know?
Yeah.
But no, I get exactly what you're saying, Matt. Sorry, continue.
No, you're right. I mean, it's just one of those things, like, I don't have a problem with anybody giving something a score if it's how they feel.
Yeah,
it's
that's just their opinion, right? Yeah.
Like, and specifically IGN, like, it's never the score that, like, because they've given great scores to other Xbox games. It's not like that or anything. It's just the reasoning for their score is what is annoying. There's no solid reasoning. There's no reasoning that's based in any sort of like reality. It's just like, I'm going to find things that I already knew about this game and I'm going to complain about it. Well, I don't know what to tell you then. It's not for you. It's not for you. But yeah, does anyone else have anything wild? Because like I said, I've been off of Twitter, so I haven't seen too much of the stuff surrounding Starfield, other than, like, you know, dude freaking out about pronouns. Does anyone else have anything to say about that? Because that was fucking.
I mean, I feel like that whole situation speaks for itself, honestly. I mean, like, just anyone with like common sense just realizes just how.
I got some mean things to say, but I fucking don't want to. About him, I mean, like, I don't know, dude. I checked that account. But I don't want to get into that. That's not what I want to use this show for. I'm happy we talked about it though, because that was a crazy thing to witness.
Yeah, I don't want to wish fucking death on the guy or anything.
Trust me, I know you're not saying. It's just me, because I know how I get when I start random all over the freaking places. So, but what was I gonna say? I don't know. Happy with Starfield. That's
but anyways, to talk about the whole drama and everything, the online discourse around this game is just so bad. Like, I had to block so many accounts on Twitter. This is the first time I ever had to block accounts, and my block list is probably like at like 20 now at this point. And every time I block someone just as annoying comes to replace it. Like, it's just like man, you can just never win. You can never win.
Start being toxic on taunts time.
And then some of the, like, it's basically just trolling at this point. You know, close up screenshots. You know, just anyone that likes the game is automatically a shill. You know, like G-Man Lives, he really likes the game, and you know everyone's just saying, "Oh, you're bought up by Microsoft." You know, it's like no one could have their own opinion on the game. And then, like, you see guys giving it 4.5s out of 10 just because the game has RPG elements, even though it's an RPG. It's just, oh my gosh, it's just really bad. Like the whole situation around this game, it's like just as bad as Last of Us Part 2, in my opinion. Like, just the negative.
You brought that up before. Before the show, and I definitely agree with that.
Like, just the cynical attitude people have towards this game is just so depressing, because like like it's just I just feel bad honestly for like just everyone that worked on this game, just to see everyone just kind of shit on it even though they never even played the game. Like it's just
Well,
it's just
what's
sad to
good
see,
about that
honestly.
is that because like I just opened Twitter while we were
Yeah.
talking here, and the first thing I saw was from I can never say his name, Emil Pagliarulo, who was like, I want to thank everybody for the awesome reception you've all had to start. It's like, so what they're saying at Bethesda and at Xbox,
Hmm.
it's all the stuff we're saying.
Hmm.
They're those takes out that are like wild and outrageous. Those exist,
Hmm.
but they're not really saying that. Todd Howard isn't saying that.
Yeah.
Pete Hines isn't saying that.
Hmm.
The developers on the game, they're not saying that. They're all saying
Hmm.
like a huge amount of love that people have for the game,
Yeah.
which is really all that matters.
I mean, the game itself is also doing fantastically on Steam. It's already like the number fourth, most played game right now on Steam, and it's not even officially released yet. So
Yeah.
that's just it's great to see though. So at least like there's obviously that toxicity around this game right now, but it looks like it's not really affecting the overall reception of the game, which is really good. So
Definitely.
I mean, honestly, once those user reviews come out though on Metacritic, oh boy, man, I'm not ready for that. That's for sure. I
Oh,
feel like
dude,
that's gonna be a whole other can of worms.
I'm never gonna see it.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna see it. I
yeah,
will. I
that's
have
gonna.
like the only time I went to Metacritic for this game was when the reviews
The
came out.
critics.
Like
Yeah,
an hour afterwards, I went to Metacritic to see what it was, and I never went back.
yeah.
I just never went back.
You just
I
thought,
have no.
okay, the game's good, done. That's it.
Yeah, it's all I needed to see.
Yeah,
But yeah, like yeah, of course. When the user scores are enabled, people are
oh man,
gonna
it's gonna be like
bomb the shit out of it.
a guy somehow already gave a negative review score before the game even released, months before the game released. I don't know how that was even possible. Like you
Yeah,
hacked into Metacritic to add in
they
a
had to
bad
take
review
it
for
down.
Starfield. Yeah, I don't know how is that even possible? Like I don't know how that. Oh man, like
It's
so
impressive.
it's impressive the length that they could go to try to shit on this game. It's impressive, honestly. Like it's love to levels I don't even know that was even possible. Like I don't know, man. But yeah, it's
It's
just it's
it's hard
like
to say.
and even all of the opinions that people have that just like I said, it's mostly just nitpicks really. Like the loading screens, it's a 3 second loading screen. Like for example, like the guy walks up his ladders. It would have been nice if you had animation, but like would that actually improve the game? Not really. It's at the end of the day, it's just a 3 second load screen versus just a 3 second climb up animation. It's not gonna make the game any better. But
Yeah.
like I said, yeah, it's just nitpicks. And then like I don't know, man. If loading screens really, ruin the game that much for you, man, you must have had a really rough 10 years of like gaming if that's what really ruins the game for you. But
Yeah. Must have been a
but
really rough go of it until literally
yeah,
2020.
yeah. I don't know how we got this far if these load screens bother you that much. But anyways, fuck. I think that's all I want to talk about at this point. I think
Yeah.
I'm done.
And I
Come on,
just
I'm
real quick,
done.
sorry, go on. Swan just
Yeah.
leaves. Uh,
Yeah.
I want to go real quick before before we get to the rest of you guys and wrap it up here. Another thing that was brought up over the show, I think, is just that I feel like the problem with this game, and it's gonna happen with like any big game, is people went into this game instead of like trying to enjoy it. They went into the game
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're talking about
looking
this.
for
Yeah,
reasons to
to hate it
not
on it.
enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
They're all trying to
and
prove
that's
their knee jerk reaction to the game. They're like, "Oh, this is not going to be good." And they play it like, "Yeah, this isn't good as good as I thought it was not going to be." It's just not going into the right mindset.
yeah,
It's
it's
just a
just not a
mindset
fun
going
way
into
to
the
play
game.
games or anything. It's
I feel
it's
like we were talking about this the other day,
Yeah.
Matt. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like just reviewing games at this point is just broken.
Yeah.
Like, people just don't
Yeah.
know how to do it anymore.
Mhm.
There's no like specific, and I mean, I don't know how there would be, but like, there's no like like specific kind of credential
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
getting to like I feel like people like ACG are on the right track of like how to go through and rate a game for today's people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I don't really think that like your regular or everyday like IGN, like they clearly like one of the real reasons that people were jumping on this dude's back it wasn't exactly because Starfield was a low score. It was his past scores
Yeah, like Duke Nukem
versus
with a name.
Starfield.
Yeah.
It just like that's the part that didn't make sense to people.
Yeah,
Was
it's like,
just
okay, so Duke Nukem is a better game than Starfield. Rage 2 is a better game than Starfield, apparently. It just, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. So like he like people are saying, oh, you shouldn't, harp down on reviewers like that. But at the same time, it's just like I feel like the general public deserve a little bit of understanding as to where this came from versus another game that seemed to get, great ratings and was like broken and not at a great reception from many other people. Like I feel like what was it, like Mass Effect Andromeda or something like that? Like
Yep.
what was
But
that,
then
like a
Duke
10 out of
Nukem,
10 or something?
He
Did
gave
you give it a
that.
10?
No, he didn't give that. He gave that as 7.6 or something.
No, that's it. No, no, no.
Isn't that game fucking garbage at launch?
Yeah, it was fucking terrible at launch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that. I mean, that's why I'm saying like it's a little like kind of suspicious for a lot of these games. And then also like another thing that is kind of broken to me about rating games is I feel like nostalgia games get a pass a lot of times. And
I think one. Okay, actually, there's actually one. You actually remind me of something. For example, Pokemon, right? Like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, they got a 6 on IGN. So you're saying that Pokemon, which launched in a broken state on Switch, it was like we all know how broken that game was when it came out, Pokemon Violet, and you're saying that game was just 1 point lower than Starfield. Like, could you imagine if Starfield launched in the state that Pokemon launched in? It wouldn't stand a chance. You know what I'm saying?
oh, 100%.
Yeah, like it would get like 3s, 4s. They wouldn't stand a chance if it launched in Pokemon state. But Pokemon, like you said, gets a pass because of the nostalgia factor, the bias around it, And it's just, I don't know, man. It's just broken, the reviews, honestly. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, you have that, and I mean, which is some really interesting kind of truth, but also with like I just feel like some of the people just don't really do it for the right reasons, like you guys were kind of talking about earlier, shock and awe, and it's just like if that's what we're doing, then we're not even reviewing games anymore.
Yeah, you want the engagement. That's all it is. That's all it's about.
Just getting impressions.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, if that is what IGN's trying to do, which I totally think that is.
That's just scumming.
It's just like rage clicks from people because it's very it seems like it's been happening more often than it hasn't been happening. It feels like IGN's been under a lot of people from Xbox's skin for a while, and there's no coming back up for air, it seems like. And it's weird because a lot of us fans, or close fans of, or big fans of Xbox, I should better say, would be like, yo, it's kind of weird that it feels like Xbox supports IGN more than IGN is like covering Xbox.
Forgetting to even list them as a platform in games that are on Xbox,
that are in Game Pass. They're going into a subscription service that they have. So like, I just it's really frustrating because they're the ones that get seen by everybody, and they get monetized, and they're monetized from that kind of stuff, and it's no different than politics at this point, where it's just like, dude, like, you're not really saying anything, you're just saying something to get a reaction out of me.
Yeah.
You're not really telling me anything that I need to know. Very much like that Vampire Survivors video that I was telling you guys about for the co-op thing.
Yeah.
That
Useless.
whole that was 12 minutes of no information. Zero. Just people playing, looking foolish. But that video at the time when I was looking at it had 57,000 views.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, you got 50,000 people to look at a bunch of people, what seems like off the street, playing like a demo. It just, it shocks me, because other, people like me or you, or outlets that, work really hard, aren't getting that recognition. And then I feel like there's people within IGN that have bigger, ideas and plans for what they could do with IGN, but it's, it's looked right past for stuff like that.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that Vampire Survivors thing, because as you were saying that, I just, out of curiosity, I wanted to go check. What are the numbers on that Doom gameplay video? That just infamous Doom Eternal gameplay video, where
played with
just
one hand.
some of the worst gameplay.
He's talking about the Doom Eternal gameplay.
Doom Eternal. I mean, both of them are just terrible. They're both awful. But Doom Eternal, just some of the worst gameplay you're ever going to see for that. And it's Doom Eternal.
Do
10
the
minutes
guys
of
even
intense.
play video games? It just makes you wonder. It's
No
just-
idea. 10 minutes of intense gameplay that says it has 888,000 views. Almost 1 million people watched that.
I probably thought the game was trash after watching it too.
Yeah, you would imagine somebody watched that was like, "Wow, this game is really shit."
Yeah,
and like, you look at the. I mean, I don't know what the ratio is because they don't show dislikes anymore. But 888,000 people watched that. 17,000 liked it. So
I remember that video having a ton of dislikes last time I've seen
Well,
it.
I think you get an extension on Chrome to bring back the dislikes, though.
There is. It's crazy.
Yeah,
that's a lot of work to see.
As a Doom Eternal athlete, I rate that gameplay an F.
As someone who's not a Doom Eternal athlete, I give that a negative F. I give that just gross, disgusting. I don't know what you're doing, but it goes to what Ham was saying. Like, it doesn't seem like
7 out of 10.
Did they give it a 7 out of 10?
No,
actually, IGN actually did give Doom 2016 a 7 out of 10. Actually, believe it or not,
I'm sure they did. Fucking
They
amazing
did,
game too.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 they gave Doom 2016.
But it goes to what Ham was saying, where it's like it doesn't seem genuine. Like, I don't know how you can get a group of people in a room to play Vampire Survivors, the brand new couch co-op coming to Vampire Survivors, and I can leave watching that video like, do I even want to play that?
Yeah,
right.
Like if I didn't know what that was, I could leave that video thinking, I don't even know if I want to play that. Everybody was talking about it like I should be excited. I just watched that video and it looks like it might suck.
Yeah.
And like, instead of I don't know why, for example, like, why did Xbox give, granted, Redfall's Redfall. We all know what Redfall is right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But why did Xbox give IGN Redfall for the month of April? They're like, oh, it's April's game of the month for IGN. They had all the in-depth coverage of Redfall. I'm like, why on earth would you give it to IGN? Like, yeah, the game, it came out, it stunk. It wasn't in the best. It wasn't a fucking awful state. But like, why give it to, like, there's so many outlets. There's so many people. Like, I follow Like I look at this dude who I follow on Twitter, the Arcane Realm. Dude, he tweets about specifically Arcane stuff all the fucking time. He's like a super fan. Nobody's going to go through that game better than he will go through that game and critique that game better than he will if he finds problems with it, because he will do that. But instead, like, that guy doesn't get he doesn't get anything. He gets no support for it. But IGN gets it. When you know they're going to make your game look shit, whether it's shit or not, they're going to make it look even more shit.
Like play that game with the controller backwards, you know?
Yeah. It's just, and then it just keeps getting them engagement. It just keeps doing numbers for them. Like, and it's disheartening as, like, I imagine, like, you know, bigger content creators, you know, than myself, you know, just a content creator with like 10,000 subs, 5,000 subs. It's like, you're putting in all the work. I mean, fuck it. Me and you guys, we're all putting in the work. All these smaller content creators are putting in the work. And then you got IGN there just fucking shitting on everything they're given. And they're just doing numbers for it. They're just doing numbers for it. Like, it's just, what do you even do at that point? Like, do you even take IGN seriously anymore? Because I don't.
Well, I can. Like I said, how can I take a review seriously if, like I said, you give Starfield a 7, but then you give Duke Nukem an 8? Like, how can I take you seriously at that point? You know, I can't.
Yeah.
like I
Also,
just your opinion just, and then he also gave Prey a 4 out of 10. The same guy,
which is fucking insane.
I know,
to give
right?
Prey, like, it's fine if you didn't like Prey. It's fine if you didn't get into Prey. Tons of people didn't get into Prey. Fuck, when I first bought Prey, I didn't get into it until literally last year, and I bought it day one. I was confused by it. I didn't fucking get it. I was lost. I didn't know where to go. And then I finally gave it a shot, and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good. And then by the end of it, I'm like, that's a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
So, like, and then also that same guy is like, I'll give Fallout 4 a 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
it's like,
I know,
I
right?
love Fallout 4. It's a fantastic game. It's not better than Starfield.
Oh God, no. Yeah.
It just isn't. So, like, I don't know. It's a problem, and it's not just. I don't want to focus on IGN because it's not just with IGN.
Real quick, I got a special boost pack that launches you into the air so high that it sprains your ankle when you land.
Yeah, I did. I have that one. I have that one, or probably a variation of that one. But yeah, it's awesome. I have to. I'll recommend. I'll recommend on your way down when you have that thing, hit Y right before you hit the ground and boost a little bit so you don't.
No, the thing is, this is a one tap. Like, it just shoots you up.
Yeah,
I know
and then it drains. But like it'll boost. It'll get some of that boost back, and then you can stop yourself from fucking breaking your legs.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, like it's not just an IGN problem. It's like a whole thing with like tons of outlets, but it's IGN that seems to be the biggest culprit of it lately.
100%.
And
it's really just a journalism issue, and it reaches out so much further than gaming. It does.
True, definitely.
I mean, we complain about it because we complain about the gaming thing because that's relevant to us. But how many times have you, yourself or seen your parents or your friends say, "You see that bullshit on the news? Like, that is complete dog shit." Like, it's. I mean, Donald Trump coined the term. It's fake news.
Yeah,
he coined the term. It's fake news, and fake news is like the most, or fake news or disingenuous news, even even more relevant to me. Is like the new thing. It's like the new cool thing to do, and it. To me, it seems like a company or a person's way of kind of being like, yeah, take that. Yeah, fuck you. Like, I got you exactly where I want you, and there's nothing that you can do about it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as people bitch, then it's like that person that made the review sitting back saying, oh, I'm getting attacked and it's not right. It ain't fair. And then people will ban people that are on like on the same side as that person, whether it's genuine or not, are gonna band together and be like, yeah, he doesn't deserve that. It ain't right. That's not how things should be done. Why are we treating each other like that? And it's like the whole thing is it's just like, dude, it's all just accountability. That's all it is accountability. You said something, we want to know why. Because the reasons that you gave didn't make any sense.
Exactly.
And if you really stand for what you believe in, and I said this on Twitter, I said, yo, why is like I said something in the realm of like, why is this dude making a space to talk about his review? Like, if you believed yourself, like I don't see any other journalists putting a review in and then saying, oh, you know what? I better back it up so people understand. Like you had that chance to do that in the review.
Yeah, I know, right?
Exactly.
You don't need to review. Nobody wants to hear the review of the review.
Yep.
Because now it's like, why are you doing this review of the review? Like now, like if I thought it was fishy before, well, now I'm looking at you like you're guilty.
Yeah, honestly,
100%.
And the funny thing was how he was like bringing up his other reviews for other Xbox games to try. I don't know, it made him almost seem like kind of like insecure, almost. I don't know, but it was just
one thing I don't like, dude. Is like no one like. It's like I'm not anti Xbox. Look at these other Xbox.
Yeah.
Like fine, whatever. Nobody cares. It's not the rating of the game. It's your reasoning for it. It was fucking stupid. And if you believed any of it, then just double. Like you don't have anything to prove. If you actually believe it, you have nothing to prove. Shut your fucking mouth. On to the next one. But like you're out here defending yourself like you got something to prove for this. Like. If you really believed it, you wouldn't be doing that.
Exactly. This man sent out shots and then, tossed the weapon, but then came back to the crime scene to recover it.
Yep.
Like, it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like this, like you already put your hand on the fire and then you just jumped in. Like, what are you doing?
Man, I fucking love your analogies, man. Fuck, I fucking love
Starfield is making people act. Fuck, it's just people are. Silly.
I've never seen people acting so funky in my life. It's just.
Oh my god! Could you imagine? Imagine if Sony, or God forbid Xbox. Just imagine if one of them gets exclusive rights to GTA 6.
Oh my gosh, it'd be a fucking bloodbath.
Oh, Twitter's gonna be a fucking mess. It's gonna
I think Twitter would just fucking break, honestly. And the thing is, if Xbox got those rights, it would even be twice as bad.
Especially if it was Xbox. Dude, if it was Xbox, people be getting death threats left and right. it'll be gnarly. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like a big game for whatever reason, big games just seem to just cause immense brain rot on Twitter for whatever reason,
especially exclusive games as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's just like this guy, if you had any sort of credibility, then you lost it as soon as what Ham said. You went into that space and you started defending yourself and started justifying. Like, if you had any sort of credibility, you lost it the second you did that. Because that stuff all should have been in the review. We shouldn't have even had to been asking you questions about why you came to this conclusion. It should have just been in your review from the jump. You're right. You're a professional writer for IGN, and you're just giving bullshit in your review. So, I mean, it is what it is. You got attacked online. I'm not gonna say people deserve to get fucking harassed online all the time.
I mean, for both sides it was bad. Like it's just a shit show on both sides. Like no one was innocent here.
I'll never like the way, and Because in a way, I agree with the guy that said the 7. I agree with him in the way that, like, yo, I shouldn't be getting attacked like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Like, I 100% agree with that.
At the end of the day,
I
it's his
mean-
opinion, right? So
I
what would
mean,
you
but
say,
bro, you say I shouldn't get attacked like this is like just super silly, because you got to remember, like, yo, you walk into the building or you sign on to the biggest gaming journalism platform in the world.
Mhm.
So I don't know, but usually before I send something on Twitter, I'm like, should I say that? And then I hit the send
Yeah.
button, and then even after I hit the send button, I'm like,
Double check it. Double check it real
Yeah.
quick.
Should I just delete this
You
real quick?
know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, you fully knew what you were doing. And then I mean, like I said, like, dude, it is hot outside. It is hot. The fuck are you going out there with sweats and a fucking coat on for, man? You're fucking getting torched. You're literally walking into death when you reappear and say, you guys want to see what I meant by that? Like, no, man, we don't want to see what you meant by that.
No.
Like, nobody
Exactly.
wants to see what the fuck you meant by that. Like, we heard what you said. We disagreed with it. And the fact that you wanted to come out and double down and be like, you know what? It had nothing to do with this, that, and a third. Well, I mean, we had questions, but then you came out to defend, and your defense wasn't good. Your defense wasn't good, which it was almost impossible to clear that up.
Mhm.
Like, there's no way. So yeah, all in all, just what the hell are you doing?
And that's a question. That's a good question for a lot of people online right now. Is what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know, like, honestly, just celebrate the fact that we got a great game and just move on. Like, why we have to cause a fucking shit show over it? It's a fucking video game. It's a fucking game.
That is literally all. It's a video game. You either get joy from it or you don't.
And
but at the
that's
end
your
of the day,
choice.
Exactly. At the end of the day, that's your choice. You move on. If you got to write a review, explain yourself, and move on.
Yeah.
That's really it. That's all you got to do. But yeah, that brings us to the end of our show. I mean, we actually went longer than I thought we would today.
No, I knew Starfield was going to be a big one. I knew
Starfield. I mean, yeah. It's
Like,
it's hard not to talk about Starfield and all the stuff surrounding Starfield. But yeah, it was a fun show today.
Like, I felt like GameSpot did it. I'm not a big fan of GameSpot, and I didn't love their review, but they said what they said and just kept it pushing.
Yeah.
They said what they said and just left. Like pretty much, like, you know, they just threw their grenade and just ran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't clearly have the engagement that IGN got, for sure. You know, not
they
nearly
didn't,
the amount.
but they also didn't try to explain themselves.
Yeah, they didn't have a review of the review. You know,
like they didn't give a score and then say, "Oh, let's have an intervention about it now."
Yeah,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just kind of how it should be.
Yeah,
that should just be the norm.
Yeah.
That should just be the norm. It shouldn't have to be a big deal, and we shouldn't have to ask for that. That should just be the norm. But yeah, like I said, that brings us to the outro of the show. And getting into outros, why don't we start with? I'm gonna go backwards. Ham, start with you, bud. Where can they find you? What do you? Well, I was gonna ask what you've been up to, but where can they find you, bud? Let them know.
Yeah, you already know what I'm playing,
No.
and what I'll be playing.
Yeah.
But you can find me on TSWS Gaming here on YouTube. And on Twitter, you can find me at hamsolo05gaming. That's really it. I have such a low attention span right now for obvious reasons.
No.
I can relate to that, but what about you, Mike? Where can they find you, bud? Oh my God, Mike's dead.
What?
He's too absorbed.
I'm questing.
Where can they find you, Mike? Let 'em
Don't
know.
bother me. I'm playing Starfield.
Where can they find you, Mike? Let them
I
know.
don't want people to find me. I want to play Starfield. No, you can find me at
Let 'em
Twitter
know.
at Hard Days Mike. I'll sometimes stream on Game Drain channel. Don't bother me. I'm playing Starfield. That is all.
No.
All right. Juan, what about
Just
you?
kidding, follow me. I don't care.
You can find me at my house. No, I'm just kidding. You can find me on the
God.
show.
Juan gives out his
Yeah.
address. Juan gives out his address and zip code.
You can find me on the show every Sunday. You can find me on Twitter or /X, whatever you want to fucking call it, at it's
Zitter.
Twan. Yeah. And I actually uploaded a video. It's not really. I just
Whoa.
really uploaded me playing Armored Core 6. It's not really that big
We
of a
ain't
deal.
fucking doing
Oh yeah, I
shit.
saw
It's
that.
just a clip. Just a clip, really. But hey, I
saw
uploaded a
that.
video technically, so there we go. It doesn't really count.
I'm gonna go to your channel and dislike it, Juan.
It's not like I'm gonna be able to see it anyways. Dislikes are disabled.
That's true.
Yeah. Who knows? I could probably have
Alright.
like 10 dislikes on the video. I don't even know.
Dude, yeah, I don't blame you. I don't even check my dislikes.
Yeah.
I haven't checked my dislikes in, well, forever, honestly.
Yeah.
But
Fuck's an
as-
auto rivet. What is
as for
this
my-
thing?
Mike,
What?
I'm gonna drown you, bud.
Matt, wrap it up. I need the shit.
As for
Okay,
myself, you can find me at MattLikesGames on Twitter, and obviously, you can find me here every Sunday. And then on my channel, you can find me Matt Likes Games videos Mondays and Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern, and then on Wednesdays, I do a show, the 2-Player Podcast with Ham Solo, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So tune into that, check us out. But that's it. That is it, and we are out of here. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by and hanging out. We will see you in next week's episode.